and stuff, a ton of papers.
I don't think I do, because when you said that, I was like, the Notes app. So it's like there's an actual thing.
Am I too close to you?
Yeah, like
Am I too close to you?
Close? No,
I'm just making sure.
no.
Just making sure. Sorry to interrupt.
because like the new iPads with the stylus and you can write on. But I don't need everything.
That's like an expensive thing for just that one bit you need.
Right.
I honestly don't know.
Like there's a Kindle version.
I could talk to you about this. I didn't know you needed anything. I'll talk to you.
I don't need it, but I think it would make my life a lot easier.
I need it.
And I was
It's
looking.
a little SpongeBob for you.
Oh.
There's like a really cheap version, but you actually physically write on it, and then you have to like take a picture of the notes to download. And I don't
Magna Doodle. I've heard.
Well, basically that's what it is. It's called a Rocket Book, but I want like to be able to like just do everything on it.
Yeah.
And like save it on, into like my drive or whatever.
3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 868, the Milcery Podcast. MomBrain, you want to tell us about... Oh, okay. You want to tell us about Milcery, please? Or Milcery? Mr. Milcery, down the street.
All right, hold on. One moment, please.
Oh, this drink is 1,000,000% going to get knocked. Well, I would knock it over. You won't
I'm
knock
so
it over.
glad that
I'll
you
take it back.
acknowledged that.
I'll take it
Okay.
back.
All right,
I looked at it and I was like, I'll knock that over.
how's my lip placement? Are we in good shape?
I bumped your volume today too. We'll see how it
Pump
goes. We're gonna
up the
tweak it a
jam.
little bit each week, but as long as
Okay.
you're like, look at me, like right on it.
I know.
You're
I
good.
try to like make my lips touch
You're
it.
matching me right now.
It's
You're
so
great.
gross.
You don't have to do that. I
It's
mean,
hot.
Ted Lasso, right?
It's a
Those
hot
announcers
mic.
on Ted Lasso, they got like the microphone flap over their mouths, but that one guy's mouth is like on the microphone to talking to it. But they're like flat-faced microphones. I didn't know if they were a different kind.
I did notice those microphones. They were interesting.
The
I feel
one
like
guy
I
is
feel
like
like a pop
literally
star.
mouth on it. His lips are touching it.
Okay. Well, this Pokemon was born from sweet-smelling particles in the air. Its body is made of cream. It's
Mm.
not even an inch tall. It's not even a pound.
So if its body is made of cream, maybe it's not Milcery, maybe it's Milcery, but it's a C.
Ew.
Milcery. Take me to the Milcery, mother.
The gender is female. The category is cream. Abilities include Sweet Veil, which prevents the
Bears and
Pokemon
cream.
and its allies from falling asleep. Get it out of here.
Thanks, MomBrain.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Hello, Kirby.
Oh, hey.
Hello, Deux.
Ooh.
Good to see you guys. I just saw you last night, but I got to be honest, I don't think I could ever get enough of your company. Hello, the one, the only, Josh Grobot. How are you, my friend, on this lovely weekend? Party animal, baby. Like I said, Josh, I heard you're getting an upgrade. I heard it's almost ready.
Sure, whatever.
Well, hopefully you enjoy it. I mean, it's your choice, your body, your firmware. If you don't want it applied, we won't do it, but I'll leave that up to you to consider. But it should be ready by next week, I've heard.
I'm the star of the show.
That's right. Hello, Super
Smash
Blast.
that subscribe button.
Hello, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Hello, Super Blast X and 10th Division and Marsboro and Malik Halo. Great gift, my friend. Grantimus, Kufu, the Mummy, Red Souza, Anastasia Beaverhausen. I'm just remembering I followed you on TikTok and then I forgot to watch. I got to make up for that. Alternus Liz, Iced Dilbert, Hylian Tom. Oh, that's a great gift, Granimus. I know I said hello to you already, but that cat gift is great. William George, good to see you. Whoever else I didn't see. The chat is bumping. I can't keep up. Steel Diver, Wolfric, everybody. RLM, good to see everybody in here. I was going to say, I would imagine most of you will be at the theater today seeing the Mario movie, but you're true fans, which means you've already seen the movie. We are late.
Seen it on Wednesday.
Yes.
I think that
MomBrain has a sad face, so I'm excited.
Grantimus put a picture of his fat cat Patrick in the Discord and said, before the show gets started here, can we get a large F cancer for stealing away my fat cat Patrick?
Oh, that was way up there. I see it now. Hi, NicoDarunia. Yes, Grantimus, of course. We'll give you an F cancer for your poor cat Patrick. Man, look at that's a great cat.
We'll pour one out for Patrick.
What's that? Come on, what's that line?
Takes a pet.
There you go.
Like,
it takes a pet, like no problem.
There you go. This episode of the Go Nintendo podcast was going to be dedicated to Mario, but now it's dedicated to
Fat
Patrick.
Patrick.
Fat Patrick. Rest in peace, Fat Patrick.
Rest in power.
Rest
Fat
in
Patrick.
power. So yeah. George. Hello, George. How are you?
Buongiorno. Feeling okay. A little overlooked, but thanks for
I-
saying hi.
I apologize, George. It's my fault. I got sidetracked. I'll do a better job next time. I feel embarrassed, but
We'll let lime gons be lime gons.
okay, I'm glad you said that. All right, we got obviously we don't have too much to talk about in the beginning of the show as far as the total of topics go, but I think the topic we do have will take up a lot of time, so we'll get right into that in a second. I do have one other thing I want to say. I want to give a big thank you to all of you lovely people who support the podcast and join the Patreon and read the site and are on Twitter and all that. We had a particularly banger week on Twitter. We've been having a banger month, to tell you the truth.
Banger.
Bangers
After
and mash.
banger.
Bangarang.
After banger.
Seamus was in a match with it was 3-on-3 last night. Gunther and Imperium all together, and then the Brawling Brutes. So Seamus and his two guys. Great match. Anyway. This is from the last 30 days on Twitter. So not this month only. This is the last 30 days, but you guys have been showing lots of love. I'll go with the least impressive stat to the most impressive. In the last 30 days, I've done 1,300 tweets. That's not really impressive. I mean, I'm just hitting the tweet button. Up 2.2% over the month prior, or the last 30 days prior. Have had over 90,000 profile visits. That's up 40%. Have had 12,000 mentions from other people. That's up 162%. But the biggest stat of all, tweet impressions were up 362% in the last 30 days, making for a whopping, can I get a drum roll, please? A whopping total of 34.3 million impressions on Twitter. So thank you to everybody for swinging by and liking a tweet or checking it out in general or replying or whatever. It's been bumping over on Twitter.
Wow.
Lots of bangers, as I was saying. Multiple tweets getting
Thank you.
millions upon millions. Oh, yeah, there we go. The Tweegle. So, yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate that support.
So, just for the audience, impressions
For the
again.
audience. It means they are interacting with your tweet in some way, be it just seeing it, scrolling past it, replying to it, liking it, retweeting it, any kind of interaction as far as base level interaction from seeing it to actually interacting with it, all the way, everything
Lots
in
of
between.
people.
Yeah, 34 million roughly. So that's pretty nuts. Lots of big tweets out there in Twitter. Hey, Twitter world. So the only other thing I want to talk about is the Mario movie. All four of us at this table went to go see the Mario movie last night.
True.
I will be on Patreon. I put out a post that said, I want your Mario movie reviews, and I will read them. And we are going to do that later. But first, I figured we would discuss the Mario movie together. Would anyone like to start? Would anyone care to share sentiment to begin with? Okay.
I shouldn't begin.
Okay. I will start. I will say.
That's
It's
probably the best place to start.
In the beginning of the movie, I said the first third. Oh, how embarrassing. Oh, yeah. Let me say that. Thank you. Alternate Liz. We are going to go
Oh, yeah.
heavy into spoilers. Heavy into spoilers. This is a spoiler topic. Peace and love. Stay away if you don't want spoilers. If you are watching live, we will put in the comments on Discord when spoilers are over. I'll make sure we type something to let you know. So if you're hanging out in Discord, bow out now, and I will make sure there's an announcement of when the spoiler section is over. If you are watching live on YouTube and you're not in the Discord, I don't know. You're going to have to, I don't know. I'll wave to the camera. You can sit there with it silent. And then we'll have timestamps later on, obviously, for our audio listeners and all that. But that should all be taken care of. But if you're here in the now, yes, spoilers begin now. So the first third of the movie, when I have Mario and Luigi kissing each other, I don't know how I feel about that.
See, that's the part I liked.
Yeah, but for 10 minutes. Yeah,
I liked.
the first third of the movie.
Oh my god!
I was like, uh-oh, I don't like this. It starts off like in the real world, because we got to do that in a lot of movies when it's video game movies or adaptations. They're like, but the real world to the game world or whatever. I'm not really keen on that, but it was just like the whole scene just felt like everything I watched was nothing Mario Brothers related. I was like, I don't care about any of this. Like this, I don't need any of this. But it was very quick. Like within the first, I don't know what, 15 minutes, you're in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Well, the movie moves pretty quickly. I'll say that.
Yeah, I would say
give my full review.
In some points, it moves too quickly. I felt like things could have used a little more room to breathe. But as far as getting from Brooklyn to the Mushroom Kingdom, it's 15 minutes. You know, there's a little thing in a bathroom where they're fixing pipes, and you know, there's a dog. None of it matters. Actually, none of it really matters. Honestly, they could have just been like, what they did in the movie was, you know, the pipes are busted. We got to save Brooklyn because there's too much water, and then they go down in the sewers. We don't need anything. We don't need.
That's true. They could have cut that whole.
Established to be like they're plumbers and they're doing plumbing.
Plumbers who just went into business as plumbers and
Yeah.
are trying to make it.
Yeah, I mean that's so they could have been like, we're plumbers just trying to make it. They see the thing on the TV and they're like, Brooklyn's flooding. We got to save Brooklyn. This is their great way to get our to stake our claim, to get our names out there. They could have just done all that and skipped everything else. But again, it was 15 minutes. When they get to the Mushroom Kingdom, I was more like, all right, I'm interested in this because it's Mario Brothers stuff. But like,
there's a nice little callback at the end
I'm
with
interested in
the
this.
mean dog looking at Luigi and then like
Yes.
nodding a little approval.
Yes.
That was all right.
I didn't dislike that. I agree with that. If it wasn't in the movie, I wouldn't have been upset.
right,
But yeah.
but not worth the entire
Yeah.
beginning for that little callback.
I think maybe the plumbing scene was supposed to establish that they're like, you know, losers, or I shouldn't say losers. They're they're
fumbling.
underdogs.
Yeah.
Underdogs for sure.
And they're under pressure from a literal dog. Oh my God. It was
Oh my
perfect.
goodness.
So much
Yeah. So
depth.
they're in.
There's too much pressure in the pipes.
That's it. You're right. Oh my. It was beautifully written.
Yeah, brilliant.
They when they get to the Mushroom Kingdom and Luigi gets captured and Mario's trying to get Luigi back and he meets Princess Peach and all, whatever. They're interested. That's fine, but I wasn't interested. I was like, eh. And Mario's got to learn his way to being Mario. Again, it sounds like it's a lot, but the movie keeps a very brisk pace. So for those that saw the movie, when they started their actual adventure to Donkey Kong Kingdom, which I'd probably guess is 25 minutes into the movie, maybe, I don't know, half hour maybe. Then I was getting into it. Then I was like, okay, I'm digging this. This is fun. I like this little what is it? Medley's not the right word. You know, where they're showing them traveling through the different kingdoms, getting to the
like a montage.
a montage. Why couldn't I think of that word? When they're making their way
Well,
to
they
the
both start
Donkey
with
Kong
M.
Kingdom, I was getting into it. And when they when they arrived at the Donkey Kong Kingdom, I was like, okay, I like this because pretty much everything after that is action. Like it's
Then it
all
becomes
action.
then it moves quick, becomes action based, and we get some fun action scenes and like
you get Mario stuff like racing and Smash Brothers and platforming.
and the sequences are exciting, and they're
Yeah.
like the camera work is, if that's what you call it, is like really well done. And
The
stuff.
camera work in particular in the Rainbow Road section, I thought was really cool. How it was one long shot of different tracks on Rainbow Road, and they were panning the camera over to other branches of the Rainbow Road as stuff was going on. I watched that. I was like, oh, I really liked how they did that. But yeah, so my issue with the movie really was the dialogue, because it was just like whatever. So that's why I think I enjoyed the 2/3 after that the most, because there is dialogue, but it's very quick and there's really nothing to it, and it's focused on action. Like the dialogue is painting the background to the action, which is taking center stage. So I enjoyed the action when they were. I guess what I should say is when they were really in the thick of it doing Mario related things. I was like, oh, this is fun. It was just fun to watch and see how it played out. So, by the end of the movie, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I gave it a 6.5 last night. I think I might give it a 7, but I'm still dancing around that 6.5 and 7. Just because if it was the first third, if it stayed like that, I'd probably give it like a 3. I really didn't like that opening.
Would you say the action was your favorite thing about the movie?
I liked the action. I liked the pace of the action. I liked how they put a heavy emphasis on the action. Like, because I don't, when I'm thinking of Mario, it's action. Like I'm going around and platforming and all that.
Mario game is pretty light on dialogue.
Yeah, I don't need all that stuff. So that, when it more closely aligned itself with what I expect from a Mario game, I'm great. So it makes me hopeful for spoiler alert, a sequel, because they're going to do a sequel. It makes me more hopeful that they're going to just kick things off more high tempo and keep that pace throughout. And again, it's not even a 90-minute movie. I guess it's close to 90 minutes, but it's like 80 minutes or something.
Yeah, I assume it's between like 80 and 90 minutes.
So a brisk pace would be great. And now we don't need that backstory in the beginning of where they're Mario and Luigi, they're plumbers and all that stuff. Now you're just like, they're in the Mushroom Kingdom. Everybody knows them. So we could pick up the pace in the next one, but who knows? So, I've talked enough. I'll let other people go and then we can discuss things. But anybody want to go next? Okay. MomBrain is afraid to. Deux is afraid to. Kirby, are you afraid to?
I'll go next because, my review is going to be pretty short and spoiler free. Not that matters at this point. So I don't really think this movie was meant for me, but there were some things about it that I thought were cute and some things that I thought were kind of obnoxious. I can say I think kids will probably like this movie. It's very colorful, and they probably won't get bored. Like we were saying, it's pretty briskly paced.
Hi, Drake.
As for adults, your mileage may vary, and it may vary by a pretty wide margin. I wasn't. It wasn't some. Like I said, it's not for me. It wasn't terrible, but it was not great either.
That's a good review that I can align with a lot of what you.
Great.
With everything you just said there.
Go right ahead, too. Also, hi, Joe Shabadoo.
Just because I realize now it wasn't made for me. It was made for children, and that's fine. It makes sense. I guess I was hoping to get a little bit more out of it that you can get on like a Pixar level where they can write it and like kids can enjoy it, but there's still kind of a bit of a interesting story and humor for adults. There were a couple of scenes that we talked about that were like little not Easter eggs even. Sometimes some were like little funny things, like at the wedding when the King Babam comes in and then
hi, Master Link. Yes, very
sits on a
happy to see him.
Koopa and like the Koopa goes back and forth in the pew. Like that kind of stuff was really funny. I was hoping that there'd be more of that kind of stuff. Akin to like the Chip and Dale movie where it was kind of flooded with those kind of old references for like an old man like myself. So, that's exactly it.
Chip and Dale is very like, I'm sure kids can watch Chip and Dale and enjoy, but Chip and Dale's not made for kids. Like that's pandering to us. And I really love that movie. I thought that movie was great. I would say that's a better movie than Mario, hands down. Yeah. But it's like Kirby said, it's a very good point that this movie clearly is aimed at children first, squarely aimed at children, whereas Chip and Dale was aimed at our age,
fans of the show,
who were like, we used to watch the show as a kid. We're going to get all these references they're going to do. They made adult references too. So great point. But anyway, go ahead.
I feel like what they gave us in our age bracket were familiar songs, familiar pop songs. And like I didn't appreciate that as much as I loved literally every single song they played. It was Beastie Boys, it was Aha's Take on Me, Thunderstruck. There was the
All your Mario favorites.
but there was I need a hero which is
yeah.
overplayed, and then they use Mr. Blue Sky, which is also overplayed because that
Hi,
was
Sarah.
in Guardians of
and
the
that's
Galaxy.
and that's a song I like legitimately like, but yeah, I had forgotten until you mentioned last night that that was in Guardians too.
I think one thing we all agree on at this table is we don't like the quote unquote real songs in the movie. Like we don't want them there.
I'm guessing they put those in there for like the parents in the audience for these
They have to. 'Cause
Illumination movies.
That's not a kid thing. Like
Yeah.
kids don't care or don't know, and that's fine. I don't expect them to, but that's a thing for me in almost every movie. I don't want those songs. Like don't. Yeah, there's exceptions, obviously, like a comedy or whatever. Put whatever song. Really, there's plenty of exceptions, but in something like this, where it's an established IP, I guess that's what it is. Any established IP, like I don't want those songs in there. Like don't put those songs in there. Like The Last of Us has a couple, especially in some of the promotional stuff, has a couple songs or remakes of songs that exist outside of The Last of Us, and I'm like that pulls me out. I don't want that.
They were distracting, I
Yeah.
thought.
So yeah, we all agree on that.
And as much as I love and adore Jack Black and love Tenacious D, I've got the albums and I know every song. I could have done without the song that he sings. It was just very Jack Black and not very Bowser. And it, to me, I know it's funny. I said this last night. I thought it was like a freestyle off the top of his head. That's how like I don't know. That's what kind of song it sounds like. And you looked it up and you're like, no, it's a written song and it's selling like crazy.
I think it was written to sound like that because it's clearly like Bowser's just like making up a song as he's going along. But like that. I think that's the approach. Yeah, that's the approach they were going for. But yes, it's a fully written song. Like I said, Jack Black did a live action music video for it. Like it's a thing, and it's in the top 100 on iTunes. It's probably higher today,
really?
But
I find that hard to believe.
People absolutely loved that song. Like it's really
the audience seemed to
really enjoying it. Yeah,
our audience laughed at it a lot.
But that's like I thought this was going to be a me thing because I'm so picky with music,
Sure.
and I just don't like music in a lot of movies. Especially if characters are performing the song. So like when that comes up, I internally groan, but I know that's a me thing. I was surprised to hear you guys disliked it as much as you did, but we again seem to be the outliers because it seems like people are really enjoying the song, and that's great. That's fine. Just I thought this was going to be a thing where I'm like, oh no, not for me, but I'm not going to mark the movie down for it. But all of us felt that song was not. I like the idea of a comedic song from Bowser. That song just didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
Though, so
well, I liked his regular performance, and I thought Anya Taylor-Joy was a standout as well.
I really liked Jack Black's. Gruffer's not. He was more like villainous. It was a more villainous take on Bowser, not over the top or anything, but it definitely had a bite to it, a little bit of an edge to it, where you're like, oh, Bowser's like in Mario games, Bowser's bad, but you never look at him and you're like, holy crap, this guy's bad. But in the movie, you're kind of like, oh, he's a bit more bad than I would think they do with a Bowser. So
he's pretty mean.
Yeah, mean. He was definitely mean.
He says some hurtful things.
But they showed like his softer side too, which was which had some comedic moments. Those were some of the only comedic moments I laughed at, like him and Kamek like practicing was kind of funny. So I liked a lot of that kind of stuff, and I'm not trying. Now here's where I've been very undue right now. I've been very calm. I've been talking, my counterpoints about why I don't really like this movie, and I'm trying to be nice about it. Here's where I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm not trying to jump on a bandwagon, and I'm not trying to whatever. I thought Chris Pratt was awful. I thought he was the worst voice actor in the whole movie, and maybe people will say that I'm overreacting. I hated it. I didn't like the way Mario was written. There were a couple of times where Mario I thought was very, very pushy, and not my Mario.
Hashtag.
But yeah, you know what? Peace and love. It's not a big deal. It's a cartoon.
Hi,
But
Outlaws.
I did not like Chris Pratt's take on
I have
Mario. I
spoken.
didn't like it. But I will end on a good thing. I loved Charles Martinet in the 2 roles that he was in.
I really to counterpoint it, well, not to counterpoint, just to share a different opinion. I thought Pratt was fine. To tell you the truth, I thought everybody in the movie was fine. I particularly liked Anya Taylor-Joy. I'm saying her name like that because that's how she says her name. I didn't know that, but now I know.
Oh, it's Anya.
Anya is how she says it, so I believe she knows her own name, even if she made it up for Hollywood. But I
know
will
my
force
own
myself to
name.
say that. Yeah, I thought Pratt was fine. I wasn't like he's great. I wasn't like he's bad. He was whatever. But yeah, to each their own. If you didn't like him, you didn't like him. That's completely fine. When I am critiquing things, I have to make a better point of saying how I feel and not telling people why I think they're wrong. I should say your opinion is valid and you can feel that way, and then offer maybe why I feel differently, but not come at it as like, why do you feel that way? Because of this, that, and the other thing. So that's a me thing. So your point is valid. It's a very subjective thing. I thought he was fine. It wasn't anything where I was like, he did a really good job. He surprised me. He impressed me. It was just like, he did it. I wasn't
You didn't ruin it terribly.
It wasn't offensive
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
Yeah, it was maybe a letdown because I think even if it wasn't Charles Martinet, there could be other actors who would do a better job with it. Just traditional voice actors, I think, could do a better job with it. But he was there. It was fine. But
it didn't stand out to me in any significant
Yeah.
way, like positive or negative.
to tell you the truth, probably in the movie, I would also say he was the worst. I just didn't dislike
Yeah.
him. But like, I think Charlie Day did a better job. I think Bowser. I think Jack Black did a better job.
I
Yeah.
thought
Anya Taylor-Joy
everyone
did a better job.
I thought Seth Rogen was fine, to
He
be
was
honest,
fine.
when I thought he was going to be really bad, but they
Peacemaker.
they threw in
Scared me.
his laugh, his trademark laugh, and then I guess they did that because they paid for it. You know what I mean? It's like, well, it's not Seth Rogen if we don't get him laughing.
You're
just like
hiring
it's,
Seth Rogen because you want Seth
just like
Rogen.
it's not Jack Black unless we get Jack Black singing a silly song. So
I mean,
like,
they gave Donkey Kong a literal makeover to appear at least somewhat closer to Seth Rogen. Like, this is the first time they've done the Donkey Kong visual makeover in decades, and it's because his design is slightly influenced by the look of Seth Rogen. So they wanted Seth Rogen for whatever reason. But yeah, I liked his take on Donkey Kong. He was, like he said in his interviews, I don't do voices. I'm going to be Seth Rogen. And that's exactly what he did. And he was fine.
And speaking of that, am I the only one who isn't really that keen on the fact that Donkey Kong can talk? Like, that's something that
doesn't bother me.
It doesn't. It's not like it bothers me, but it's something that I always kind of disliked. It seems like he should just be like, making ape
Feral
noises.
ape.
Yeah.
Maybe I am okay with it because I watched that terrible Donkey Kong cartoon where he does talk.
Yeah, like I know this isn't the first time he's had a speaking voice. But
Now, you know what I did like, and I'm going to say, I don't know if it was a reference or not, but it has to be a reference. In the movie, Donkey Kong, before Mario goes to take the fire flower, Donkey Kong blows it out. And Donkey Kong, in Donkey Kong Country Returns, Donkey Kong has the ability to blow up the dandelions, and Miyamoto made like a big deal about that. And Retro was like, okay, if you want that in the game, we'll put it in. I was like, that's
Yeah,
gotta be a
that
reference.
can't be a
right?
that's so
coincidence.
cool.
Can't be coincidental. Maybe it is. I don't know. But they went so deep on other references
Well,
that
the
I'm like, that
refer-
has to be a reference.
The reference, I think, was it was originally in reverse, and he was sucking in the flower, and the reference was
Thank
Seth
you, Elbows.
Rogen is doing like a big flower bong hit. But then
There
they
you
did
go.
it in reverse, and it looks like he's blowing it out. It's like,
That's
okay,
it.
cool.
You're right.
That makes more sense for Nintendo.
That's got to be it. Yeah, I liked the relationship between Mario and Donkey Kong because obviously when it started out in the video games, they were enemies. So I liked how they had a bit of a back and forth in the movie. I appreciated that. I also said I liked in the movie that weird eel thing from Super Mario 64 is a plot point. I like that is in the movie and they get swallowed by it. I think that was great. Like a great use of something that people who aren't familiar with Mario will have no idea, but people who played Mario will be like, that's that thing from Super Mario 64.
Does that thing even have a name?
I'm sure it does. Probably something stupid like a Mario, like Ely or something. I don't know. Put an E on the end of
Mario.
everything.
Mr.
Mulray is his name, says Roth.
Oh, thank
Mulray.
you.
Like
That's
a Mulray
a
eel.
Mulray. I was like, I'm all right too. Okay.
So yeah, I'm MomBrain. You have not said anything. Let's go.
Well, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was okay. There were some really cute parts. Although I will say that there was a kid in front of us, like a few rows in front of us, and the kid was really into the movie, and
Yes.
I really enjoyed that.
I think having that kid there and hearing that kid, even if you're watching the movie and you're hating it, you're like, oh, I'm bitter.
Yeah, like Mario has to eat a mushroom, and the kid just yells, he's like, just eat it, Mario, just eat
And then
it.
the kid was like, he doesn't like it. And I
It
was
was
like, oh, this
cute.
kid's having a good
And he
time.
wasn't being obnoxious. You could
Then I
tell
was
he
like,
was
shut the hell up.
he was just like so excited to be there. And you know what? Our theater was pretty full. There were a lot of families there. There was
No
a family
one
there
there
in matching
except the four of us
pajamas.
saw the whole
Yeah.
movie because everybody
got up
to
to go to the bathroom. Like 20 times.
Even adults, kids. Listen,
It was
I get it.
amazing
You
how
get
many
up, you got to
people-
take the kid to the bathroom. But MomBrain after the movie was like, did literally everyone get up to go to the bathroom during me? Hello, Sticer. Good to see you.
There was a little girl there in a like a bathrobe, like a fuzzy
Oh my
bathrobe. Like,
gosh.
you know that
Yeah,
the
people
parents
were real comfortable.
because it was like a 7:00 movie. And I was saying in the Discord where we live, that was the first day of most kids' spring break. So I think that it was like a big night for everybody to be like, let's kick off, we'll go to the movie. Like I got a text from Droth that night. She like brought her kids.
That's a good point. I'm going to let you continue your critique, but we talked to a friend last night who was their Adam took his kid to the movie, and it was the first movie they went to. Adam really liked the movie, but he said he also enjoyed seeing his kids see the movie. So,
Yeah.
and then
And
your
I think there's
friend
especially something to be said for like it being like, Mario was ours when we were kids. And so to be able to bring your kid to a Mario movie, and it's not like we dug up an old franchise. He's like still beloved, which is kind of a cool.
Yeah, he like never went
Steve
away.
Irwin,
Yeah.
I'll be happy to message you privately if you want on Discord and let you know when we're done with the discussion. But if you're going, you're going. It's totally fine either way. I just thought since I'm here, I can let you know. But continue.
So, I thought that was really that was sweet, so I would recommend if you haven't seen it yet and you are like, you've got like a niece or a nephew or a kid in your life who's into Mario, it would probably be fun to bring them to go see it.
Sure.
Yeah, I can see that.
I have nothing else really to contribute except for and I guess in hindsight it's not the case because the timeline doesn't match up, but there were so many times during the movie where I thought like, did they just put this in here because it's going to be part of the theme park, or are they going to make a theme park ride out of this? Because there was a lot of stuff that I felt like it really lent itself to a theme park, and knowing that, they're being built or have been built, I don't know.
A cynical side, we talked about this very briefly last night, MomBrain. A cynical side of me thought that same thing. There was a lot of sweeping shots of the Mushroom Kingdom, and I was just getting flashbacks of what I've seen of the actual Mario world. And I was kind of like, is this all just a cash grab? But so yes, it is. But, it's also stuff we love that, like you said, we grew up with him and he's still going strong and still taking our money.
Well, now at Super Nintendo World, they're going to add that spaghetti and mushrooms meal to their menu because all the kids will want that for the movie. Obviously.
Spaghetti and mobiles.
I think it's not if you have little kids, it's a great first movie to take them to, or a great thing to do. Otherwise, I would strongly recommend you wait until it comes out on, whatever streaming service, and you watch it, that way. Because there's nothing about it that I could say like not to be missed. Like watch it now. So if you haven't, those are my recommendations. If you haven't seen it yet and you can wait to watch it at home, I recommend doing that. Or if there's a kiddo in your life who you think would really enjoy it, I suggest bringing them because you'd probably have a better time if you could enjoy it through the eyes of a child. And I don't really like kids, so that's saying something.
I did want to say we touched on it a little bit, and I want to get into it more. The the use of Charles Martinet in the movie I thought was excellent. He is, like we said on podcast last week when there were rumors, he plays a guy in the beginning named Giuseppe who's just sitting at an arcade machine, and he has like one line that's in the Mario voice pretty much. And I was like, whatever. That's a little disappointing, but whatever. But he also does play Mario's dad. So the lines they gave him to say were very clearly written to recognize that he is the voice of Mario, because he plays Mario's dad. So obviously that makes sense there. But the stuff that they have him say, I forget what the exchange is exactly at the end of the movie, but it was like Chris Pratt says something to Mario, or Chris Pratt as Mario says something to Mario's dad, and they have a little exchange where it was very obviously a recognition of Martinet is the role of Mario. He's the one that voiced the character. Like, I forget what the back and forth was exactly, but I really appreciated it. There were 2 times I teared up in the movie, and that was one of them. Like, just that little exchange. I was like, that's really nice. I really appreciated that. So he's not in it a ton, but what they do give him is very respectful of the work that he does. So that was awesome to see.
I meant to ask when in the beginning, when he's running and he runs through like a construction site, there's like a caution sign, and I could have sworn it was Mr. Game & Watch on the caution sign. Yes.
It's,
Yeah.
or at least artwork very reminiscent of Mr. Game & Watch. Yeah. I mean, the movie's full of little references. I mean, you start off in Punch Out Pizza or whatever it is. And they got pictures of Glass Joe and Bear Hugger on the wall, and it's full of stuff. There's a Jumpman arcade machine and all that.
Yeah, Mario is playing Kid Icarus in one
Mario literally plays Kid Icarus on an NES. Yeah, so not.
Oh, and there's a phone in the background on one of the. I guess maybe it's at Mario's parents' house. There's a phone in the background, and it's like looks like a Joy-Con. Like,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like a blue Joy-Con,
like embroidery or something too.
Right on the wall with like Glass Joe and all the other boxers. There's like a Duck Hunt thing.
I mean, 2 seconds into the movie, Luigi gets a phone call, and his ringtone is the GameCube startup noise. So the movie's like full of this stuff.
Yeah,
so.
If you're the kind of person who will watch a movie just to like spot things like that,
you're gonna have to pick it apart for months on end. There's so much much of it is so quick, you're gonna have to stop and pause. Like, even like when they first get to the Mushroom Kingdom, there's a toad selling things,
antiques,
whatever, and like the other toads talking to him, and the retail toad goes, well, you're gonna have to blow into it because of NES cartridges and all that stuff. So funny stuff.
That's a big controversy I saw on the internet, because
that doesn't actually work.
Isn't it proven that it actually ruins your game to do that? And they're like kind of mad that Nintendo's telling people to ruin their games.
Okay, so it's not proven that it ruins them.
It's coming across my desk later.
Yeah, it's not proven that it ruins them. It's not proven that it works.
Yeah, I just heard that it was like ineffective.
Whatever. Can it work sometimes? Yes. Is it actually? Everybody knows that's not like. This thing doesn't work. Blowing on it makes it work. It's just something we did because probably the inside of your cartridge was dirty or had dust in it, and you're supposed to use like a cleaning thing, like swab with alcohol or whatever to clean it out. But yeah, you could probably blow in it, and it'll move some dust around, and you got a better chance of it working. So it's not like wrong, but yeah, blowing air and spit into your cartridge isn't a good idea. So it's not the way Nintendo would recommend to fix a game, obviously, but it can do the trick sometimes.
For one, was happy to see Buckenberry and a la Gold.
You know how bad I wanted them to say those names.
Oh, I wanted it so bad.
I was like, it's blue and yellow right here. Say Buckenberry and a la Gold.
You know, it's hard to hear under the mask, and we're in a movie theater, and I don't really want to bug you, but I wanted so bad to turn to you and say that they're 2 names.
You didn't need to, because I was thinking it the whole time. I was like, do it, but they didn't do it. So, I think that we covered everything. I think we had a great discussion.
I thought the one last thing, I thought the after credits scene was a little underwhelming, because we got a whole pack of Yoshis halfway through in the montage scene, and yes, we didn't see a green one. So I was like, why would they snub the green Yoshi? And then they show, the egg at the end, but like,
listen, I will say, it was nice to see Yoshi, and you want to see like Mario's Yoshi, even though there's no such thing. But also, I felt the same way. I was like, we already saw Yoshi's. It was nice, but I get like it's Mario's Yoshi, and it'll be like, I get that it's hinting at like Yoshi's not just going to be like Mario's going to ride Yoshi in the next movie. It'll be like a relationship between the two. So I understand it, but yes, I would agree. A little underwhelming because we had already saw Yoshi's, and I liked how they did the Yoshi's because, in my opinion, it was a direct reference to the intro Smash Brothers Melee because you see a same like stampede of Yoshis running the same kind of way. So I thought that was a
I
direct.
just like to think
callback,
about
but-
them all like living
Running
in
around
this
out there?
beautiful.
It
Yeah,
is nice
yeah,
to think about
yeah.
that.
Yeah, Television says, "Where's my Yoshi?" Yeah, that's the point I think they're getting at. So, also, I will say, as I said last night in our discussion, I'm a huge fan of movie logos that get me amped up. Marvel's number one for me.
Oh.
I really like what they do with the Star Wars one, where you see like the red and blue light swipes
Yes.
over
And
different
I can
masks.
hear the song in my
Yes,
head when
really like those. I gotta say, the Nintendo one let me down a little bit. I don't dislike
A
it,
little
but
underwhelming.
I wasn't moved by it like I was hoping to. And I will say, I was moved by the Sega one and the Sonic
Oh, of
movie.
course,
I
of
think the Sega
course.
one is great.
Although I will tell you, seeing Nintendo, the logo
Yes.
huge on the screen gave me like a
Yeah.
warm fuzzy, like,
See,
ah.
that
that
is
I
cool.
did like. And as I said last night, let's say they do a Legend of Zelda movie. If they do that and the intro is an old 8-bit Link and all that, then I'm like, okay, I get what they're doing here. Then I'll like it. Like if they did that with a Samus or a Kirby, then I'm like, oh, I really like this. So I need more. But if every Nintendo movie is gonna have that, I'll be like, whatever. So I was disappointed by that. But that's stupid. Like that doesn't mean anything. That's just a me thing because I love that. When I'm in a Marvel movie and I hear that song and I see that logo, I get goosebumps every time.
And
so.
when they don't play that song because it's like a
Yeah, I'm like,
special, and it's like,
"Oh,"
oh
yeah.
man.
Also, it is kind of funny. This movie was put out by Universal, who are the same company that took Nintendo to court.
Yeah, right. They're like, there's more money if we work together. Like those intros with Marvel when they for Wakanda Forever, they changed the logo to the purple and black, and everything had all Black Panther footage in it rather than all the characters. And I was like, see, that's the kind of stuff I like. That's really smartly done. And it was silent, no music. I was like, what a great use of that. It builds like a thing. So
They
we have to
always
see if
do.
Nintendo builds
They
on
always
that.
do
but-
it good.
So there you go. Some of us liked it more than others. I seem to be the one that liked it the most. I don't think it was a great movie, but I did have fun. And I'm interested in seeing where it goes from here. But as I said, you guys had reviews. I asked you on Patreon if you had a review to review it for us. So I will read your reviews.
If people want to join Patreon,
They can do so.
For $1.
Patreon.com/GoNintendo for $1, as Billy says. Zachary Clark says Mario movie is very fun. In some ways, it is incredibly accurate to the games, in that it is 100% about fun and not story. I think if you aren't a fan of the games, it's just an okay kids film. But if you are, it is super. Martin Stuff says, so just came out of the cinema. So here's my take on it. It's a fun movie, and when you look back at how video game movies have usually been stinkers, obviously it's gotten better recently. This isn't one. It's just a good, enjoyable movie. You mentioned how when you saw a live-action movie, you got a bit annoyed about its interpretation, and I can say safely you'll enjoy this movie. Not story-intensive. In fact, spotting the little references is pretty fun. But when has Mario been about story? I hope you'll enjoy it as much as I did. So this, obviously, I posted this earlier in the week before I saw the movie. That is a very good point. Like the original Mario movie, you're like, what is this? And this, you're like, okay, it's definitely a Mario movie. So
It was Leguizamo's rocket to stardom, is what it was.
That's right. That's right. His breakthrough role. Sinfield says, I've just come home from the cinema having watched it with my wife and 3 children. I was worried about the Rotten Tomatoes critic scores, but when the lights dimmed and the film started, I loved it from beginning to end. It really is a love letter to the Mario universe, and although there has been a lot of talk about the voice acting and doubts of Chris Pratt, I felt he did a great job as the rest of the cast. I don't tear up during games, but this film got me choked up in several places. It's everything I wished back for in 93. If you love Mario, you need to see it. Fun for the whole family, and can't wait to hear what we think of it, meaning us. Well, now you did.
Oh, you know what would have been really bad? If they did the same thing they did in the 93 movie where Mario and Luigi are both named, their like last name is Mario.
Mario, and Luigi Mario. Red Panda says it's a kids movie through and through, and a wonderful showcase for nostalgia and Easter eggs. There is barely a scene that isn't crammed with references to both visual and audio. So much so, I probably missed a good chunk. I would argue it was distracting at times. The animation is great. Most of the voice acting is good. Jack Black was the best. Seth Rogen was by far the worst, in my opinion. Was expecting Donkey Kong to just get high at one point. Doesn't make me excited for a potential Donkey Kong movie. Overall, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. Radical Defect says, I was the guy that spun the pod's whole Chris Pratt discussion. We ended up butts in seats on day one, and I'm glad we did. Can't let one allegedly bad apple ruin a whole tree, after all. His performance was inoffensive, if not vanilla, but everyone else, especially Jack Black, more than made up for it. The soundtrack is an absolute home run. If you're moved by if you're moved by or tear up because of Le Motif, you're in for an emotional ride. I found the whole thing to be relatively predictable, but still super fun. Still, there's one character that wasn't shown in any of the early trailers that might be my new favorite Mario character ever. They kind of make me want to play a saxophone. Well, we get that reference.
Oh yeah, did we ever even talk about the Luma?
Why the Luma?
The Luma was in the trailer.
Wishes. Yes, the Luma was in trailers. Why the Luma wishes for death's sweet embrace for the entire movie? I don't know. I guess because they're like, it's a cute character, so it'll be funny if it wants to die.
Kids love that stuff.
It was a funny juxtaposition. I think they went a little too far with it. They milked it a little too much.
What I did like was that they showed the Luma can clearly get out of its cage, but it wants to be in there because it wants to die. So I did like that little nod. John says, a fun ride and a colorful tribute to the greatest game series of all time, more than a film. But I thought it was executed well. I thought it executed what it was aiming to do extremely well. Gorgeous animation and my favorite ringtone Easter egg ever. Joe Shabadoo says, I'm glad I went to see this movie, especially glad that I saw it in the Dolby Atmos theater and allowed the superb score and sound design to shine. Music is the purest form of human expression, and they nailed it with the exception of a few unfortunate cases of licensed music. Having said that, I would rate it a fairly charitable 7 out of 10. Actually, scratch that ratings are dumb. I would say it's a very easy recommendation to any fan of Nintendo, for sure any younger fan, and a hesitant recommendation just as a fun family film on its own merits. Now, to be critical, it is fun and entertaining enough, but all gusto and go, 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 while always feeling as though it's lacking just a little something. There's never enough meaningful world building to me. I know. Hey, Joe Shabadoo, why are you expecting that from a game franchise that never made it a main concern? Well, sir, because this is a film and not a video game, and thus a great opportunity to flesh out that world in a meaningful and definitive fashion.
That's a very good point.
It's not so much saying that it needs to explain why this place exists, but more detailing the interrelationships of the beings in it and any sort of history they all have. When I, the viewer, am searching and not finding much of that, it dovetails into a lack of motivation for most of the characters in this movie. The voice acting, for all the online debate, was all fine and good. That said, turning Bowser's entire character into Jack Black, doing a toned down version of Tenacious D, is a choice I have mixed feelings about. In the end, I can say that the impressive attention to detail in this visually stunning Easter egg fest theme park ride of a film made me smile consistently, almost to the point of distraction, and they were focused on accomplishing that. Also, the best source of comic relief came from an unexpectedly small blue source, so that's cool. There are far worse ways to spend 90 minutes. Well, we all agree on the music portion, my friend. Yeah. There were certain things in the movie where I felt it went too quickly. Like I wanted it to explain things a little bit more, just because I felt there were relationships that could have explored. So I'm right with you there, my friend. Kyle says, loved it start to finish. It couldn't help looking in the background of every shot for Easter eggs, so I will need to rewatch it no matter what. My kids both said it was awesome, the Target demo, and I picked out over musical score and was instantly whisked away to that specific game level and sound effect. I also like that Princess Peach is never a damsel in distress, but Luigi fills that role until we get to Luigi's Mansion movie. The voice acting was great and didn't take me out of the movie thinking about the actor's voice, but instead it felt natural to the character. Also, really appreciated that Charles was not a throwaway character. That was a nice touch. This is only going to lead to bigger and better things for Nintendo, Universal, and I'm glad the Mario Brothers got a second chance at a movie. Miyamoto did us well again. I am off to pre-order the 4K. Yes, you can pre-order your at-home release now if you want. Walmart has a special one that comes in a star tin. So if you'd like for something special.
Hmm.
Freddie Fro felt they give it an 8 out of 10. Felt like a fun theme park ride that I look forward to going on again soon. However, I can't help but compare this to other similar movies like the Lego Movie and Wreck-It Ralph. Both those movies had similar plots and fun elements like Mario, but they also had emotional weight and character depth to their bigger moments, something this movie lacked. Also, please, everyone watch Puss in Boots 2, 10 out of 10. On my list, I really got to watch that. Also, I didn't like Wreck-It Ralph. I really didn't like that movie.
That's too bad.
Rosemary
I
the
think
Farmer
I liked it better than this.
says
Me
7 out
too.
of 5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. Depending on which part we're talking. Music score was 10 out of 10. I was thrilled to hear some Captain Toad representation. Yes, I love that. Toad got a Captain Toad theme in the beginning. But big thumbs down for random 80s songs. I felt like Universal filling a quota, especially when there are so many good Donkey Kong song options. It sounds like you were in our car ride home last night, Rosemary the Farm. Writing story felt very Nintendo safe and offensive. Don't ruin the integrity of the characters, and mostly just fine. I didn't catch most of the Easter eggs, but I'm excited for other people to find them. I know they're there. Overall, very fun time. Slider64 has our last review. Outside of Cranky Kong sounding awful and licensed music, I liked it a lot. It's a bit simple and fast-paced, but it works well with some great moments. I'm sorry, that's not the last review. The last review is SD Sick Hero. I very much enjoyed the movie. I found it breezy and fun, though a little simplistic. I don't mind, though, and at least if it wasn't plotting or boring. The animation was also great. I understand some might not like the film as light as this one, but it's Mario, man. There you go. Yeah, I will certainly say it was not boring, and I never felt it dragged on. That is very true. It went at a breakneck pace. So there's never anything where I was like, "Come on, let's go." It just happened. Like I said, there were times where I wanted to slow down and explore things a little bit more, but very much a kids movie. It kept that pace. So I'll tell you what felt long. That Trolls trailer.
Oh my god.
That trailer is probably 2.5 minutes, and we were a minute in.
It
I was
felt
like,
longer than the movie.
"Oh,
You know,
man."
No, there's so many reasons I have personally for not wanting children knowing the movies. Because when Adam said that last night, and he was like, I liked it. It was great to see something with my daughter that meant something and all that stuff. And he's like, I've seen so many kids movies that are just so terrible. And it was like a throwaway comment, but I heard the emptiness and the deep darkness in his soul from having to watch that stuff. And just that trailer, I was like, holy cow, never ever will I have children.
That
Cut them off
trailer
right now.
That
So I don't have to
trailer,
worry about it.
like,
My balls.
I don't know, like, it was a lot of talking for a trailer for a kids movie. Like, it was just like it was
I
all
thought
like
we were
plot
in the wrong
point.
theater. I was like, this is the movie we've come to see. And
There
I
was
didn't
like-
need
Yeah, it was
this.
just like in the middle of a
Like,
scene.
if you're gonna give me a trailer for that movie, then give me like the 80s songs and whatever, and I'll just be like, oh, it's one of these movies,
That's
and
what
I'll
they
just
usually
sit
do
there
in
and
these
whatever.
trailers,
But this
right?
was like so much talking,
Yeah.
and I'm like, do kids want to see this? Like, what's going on here? This is horrendous. Joe Shabadoo is screaming. Why was Rainbow Road somewhere other than space? He's very upset about that.
Oh yeah, there might be some continuity errors in the movie.
I don't know. It was like, well, yeah, that's true. I mean,
Or no, I'm sorry, not
good point.
I don't mean continuity errors. I mean non-canon things.
Yes, issues with adaptations of source material. Yeah, that's a point. It didn't bother me. I didn't think of it, but I liked that whole ride in general, though. I thought that was a fun. That might be my most. I don't know, that Smash Brothers section and the Mario Kart section together. I really liked those. I liked everything after that first third. I really did. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I thought it was fun, and it wasn't. None of it overstayed its welcome. And my favorite part of the movie is King Bomb. I just like that he was invited
was
to the
awesome.
wedding. He was in the front row, so Bowser respects him. I
And
like
King
it.
Boo was there.
King Boo
and
was there too. Yes,
so
very good to see.
all the royalty was there.
Yes,
I liked when they were planning their invasion. There was a map on the wall, and it was the map from Super Mario Brothers from Super Nintendo.
Super Mario World. Yeah, I don't know if it was one for one, but it was very much in that style. Like, it was exactly the same
yeah,
style.
it's really cool.
Yes, I did like that. So yeah, there you go. That's our thoughts on the movie. I will post in the. We are ending spoilers now, people. Everybody got everything out. They're good.
We said we'd wave at the
Yes,
camera.
thank you. There's your wave. You're safe, but I'm making sure everybody here on the podcast does not, even as a joke, do anything
Does
about anything spoilers related.
Yeah,
no spoilers.
we'll have
Peace
to
and
watch
love.
ourselves.
Spoilers are over. Who did I say I would message? Steve Irwin. I said I would message. So they all right. Let me just get this out of the way. Spoilers over.
Oh, be right back.
Sorry for the dead air. I take spoilers very seriously. I want to make sure everybody feels good and safe. All right, I'm back. So anyway, spoilers. MomBrain, can you take us to news, please? There was news this week. You got it, William George. We're here for you. Thank you, MomBrain. I wanted to talk about. I guess I'll save it for next week because I knew this was going to be a long segment. But are you up to speed, on all the horrendous treatment the Ada Wong voice actress has been getting? Because I know I talked to you about how bad she was, which I do think she's bad, but the horrendous treatment she's been getting for her performance.
I only heard what you thought about her performance. I didn't hear any
I'll
of the.
save it for next week then. I do want to talk about it. Not surprisingly, the internet has bullied her to the extent we'll get to on another next week's podcast. Now, I don't want to do it today. Too much time spent on the Mario movie. But yeah, again, you can talk all you want about how you don't like a voice actor. You talk about it, Chris Pratt. You didn't like his portrayal in the movie. You're not going to go on the internet and be like, tweet him or direct message him or email him or
what
send
a
him a
stupid male slut for
exactly.
sucking at this role.
Yeah,
He should go back to wherever he's from, Missouri.
You were better when you were fat. Get fat again and
Yeah.
stop doing voice acting. Yeah. So we'll talk about that next podcast. But this podcast, let's get into news because there was a good amount of news this week, including big bad. Oh, dude, we're starting off with your favorite Pokemon news. So when Pokemon Go, let me start this again. When the pandemic first kicked off, and it was off and popping, Niantic changed things for Pokemon Go because people were not going outside because they were not supposed to. And Pokemon Go was a game where you go around outside and catch Pokemon. So Niantic changed a whole bunch of things about the game to allow people to play at home and make it easier to play. And what's up? And a lot of trainers, as in players, really liked the changes that were made and still use those changes. But Niantic has been like, listen, this is not how you're supposed to play the game. We want you out there in the public. And they're like, trainers are like, yeah, but we like it better like this. So Niantic has now decided that they are pushing changes into Pokemon Go. So whether you like it or not, you're going to have to deal with these changes. They're changing how remote raids work. And basically it means you're going to have to spend more money to get your remote raid passes. And basically anything that people liked about remote raids has been almost taken away completely. And trainers are very upset. But Niantic's, the Pokemon Go VP, Ed Wu, talked to Eurogamer. And he's like, listen, this is the way it is. So get used to it. He says, quote, it's a big and meaningful change to a huge part of the game. So as you might imagine, for a change of this magnitude, we've, of course, examined many alternatives. After thinking very carefully about this, what we're doing is relatively simple. Generally speaking, the goal is to keep remote raids as part of Pokemon Go, but to do so in a sustainable way. The change is necessary for the long-term health of the overall game and our principles of getting folks outside and exploring the world together. The world has largely moved back outdoors, and remote raid passes have come to dominate the overall experience of playing in a way we never intended. It's become essentially a shortcut to playing the game. We've seen an imbalance because the current price of remote raid passes is matched to the premium battle pass, which is distorting the game economy and making the game unsustainable in the long term. We know this is a big change, and some folks will have a strong reaction to that. We're very empathetic to that reaction, but we really think this is the right thing for the overall long-term health of the game and our desire to make sure it's great for many, many years to come. End quote. There's a lot more in there, but he's like, hey, you guys have had it too good for now. Pandemic's not as bad as it was. Get back out there and play. Or you can keep doing remote raids, but we're going to charge you. It's like something like triple the amount or something like that. The cost of one remote raid pass is now just under what the cost of 3 remote raid passes were. So people are very angry because they're like, we liked playing like this. It made the experience better. We didn't have to go out if we didn't want to, and we were buying the remote raid passes, whatever. And now Niantic's like, you could still buy them. Just give us triple the money.
Damn.
So people very upset. I saw on the front page of Reddit, not logged in Reddit, just front page of regular Reddit. On the front page, a post was about Pokemon Go, and I was like, well, I had fun Pokemon Go, but goodbye. This is the end. People are very upset. Now, is this online bravado and people are just going to go back to playing the way they used to?
Maybe.
Or are people really going to put their money where their mouth is and really move away from the game?
Not everybody is as strong as an oak as you are, RMC.
I thought you were going to say maybe again, but I appreciate the kind
Oh.
words. Thank you. No, I'll take that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out. Because again, if you really don't like something and you're very passionate about it, speak with your wallet. That's the only way to make a real impact. Show them that they will not get your money. And yes, it might hurt because a lot of people are not going to speak with their wallets. They're going to talk out of one side of their mouth online and then play the game behind
the other
closed
side
doors.
of their mouth.
Yeah. So like I went through this literal thing this week. Deux has known and MomBrain has known. I've been, no joke.
Deux and I have been not just known, but Deux and I think, have been
Living it together.
living.
Well, you've been living it, especially. This must have been a tough week.
I have been devastated, and that's not a word that's too strong. Devastated, because I'll try and make this very succinct. I do believe the story relates, so it makes sense to share it. I'll explain it for those who don't know anything about this, and I will try my best to keep it short. In WWE, Vince McMahon has not been controlling storylines or writing storylines for the last 8+ months. WWE was just sold to Endeavor, the parent company that also owns UFC. They are keeping Vince McMahon on. In interviews, Vince said he would not be in the day-to-day creative. Triple H has been involved with that and the one spearheading it. And he has been doing a great job for the last 8 months, like night and day, in my opinion. And attendance, viewership, everything up by 10% at least. On Monday's Raw, which was after this deal was announced, Vince was in town for WrestleMania, and Vince took over Raw, as in he took on creative duties. And it was, no hyperbole, the worst Raw I think I've ever seen. And it was instantly obvious that Vince was in control because it had all his hallmarks of whatever Vince does. And I was devastated because when Vince left
Were
the
there like
company,
strippers there?
no, it was just everything was written poorly. Everything made no sense. The match, the first hour had 1 minute of wrestling. That's not an
Oh,
exaggeration.
geez.
Literally 1 minute, or under 2 minutes, I should say. It was like a minute something, and a total of 30 minutes in the whole 3-hour show. But that's, a million other problems. And I was devastated because I said, when Vince left and Triple H took over, I knew Triple H was going to do a fantastic job. And he did such a good job, in my opinion. And I was like, if Vince ever comes back, I can't go back to that because I've been waiting for Vince to leave because he lost it. If he came back, I can't do it. He came back on Monday and I was devastated because I was like, not only was that the worst show I've seen of Raw, I'm staying true to my word. I'm not watching. I'm
Not
done.
to mention, he's like always been a gross human being,
Yeah.
but like I like to believe, are growing as a society. It's small, it's incremental, but I think a lot of like the turmoil we're seeing is growth. It's just ugly. And like we as people have grown over the years, and like it becomes a lot harder to tolerate him as a person and want to support him as a
Yeah.
person.
And that's the other great thing about Triple H, because he's
Yeah.
the opposite of that. All LGBTQ and women, like treating women with respect, and like he's so far in the other
Such a
direction.
novel idea.
I know.
Treating them like wrestlers. Yeah.
Yeah, like wrestlers
And
and more
people.
importantly, people. Yeah. So when Vince was back in control, I was like, this is it. I've watched wrestling every WWE, literally every week. I can't do it and I won't do it. I'm not going back to that. So after that, I stopped and I was like, I can't believe something I've done for so long and I'm so passionate about is over. Now, I will still watch AEW because that has nothing to do with it. And I love pro wrestling in general. I didn't watch NXT on Tuesday night because I'm like, I'm out. This isn't just a Raw or a SmackDown thing. This is a WWE thing. So I still haven't watched NXT. But
we played Fortnite, and you took off your wrestling belt back bling.
everything is gone. Yeah, all of it's gone. My
Oh, wow.
John Cena
That's
hand
how you
is
know it's
gone.
real.
Yeah.
My
That's how
wrestling
you know you're
belt is
serious.
gone off of Spider-Gwen. Yeah. So everybody fans' heads online who are really into this were like, please let this be a case of Vince only being in town for Raw and he'll be gone for SmackDown and that'll be it. He's gone. So I was like, oh, please let that be the case, fully believing that not to be the case. Well, against all odds, it was the case. Vince was not there for Raw or SmackDown. He was not controlling SmackDown. Triple H was in control of SmackDown. Michael Cole on commentary made a very specific point when Triple H walked out to be like, here he is, the guy that's running everything. He said that on microphone, which is not anything Michael Cole would ever say. He said it about Triple H. So I read all this online before I watched, and I was like, he's not there. Triple H is in charge. Maybe this
Not
Vince
gonna lie,
thing
I'm sweating
really
a little
was a one-off. And I watched it last night, and I can't tell you how much of a breath of fresh air it was, because it was top to bottom so clearly a Triple H show. The crowd loved every second, everything. Everybody was into it. Everything made sense. I was like, so happy. But now every week it's going to be like, is Vince coming back for Raw on Mondays? I don't know what's going to happen. But as of right now, riding high again. So to relate it to all this, Pokemon Go players, they're like, everything's great. I love these changes. Please don't go back. And Niantic's like, well, we're not going back all the way, but now we're going to twist everything that you like to a degree that you won't like it anymore. So I get these players that are like, I'm out. I've played this game for 3+ years, and now you're taking away the way I want to play. So I'm going to stop playing. We will see if fans really mean that or if it's just a bunch of bluster online. If you are passionate about it and you're saying that stuff online, vote with your wallet. Don't play. I know it sucks. I know you love Pokemon Go. I know you love playing the game. I really get it. But if you are really serious about the direction the game is heading and you don't approve of it, the best thing you can do is not play the game and not spend the money on the game. That's the only way to make your voice heard. You just have to be willing to make that sacrifice, knowing that potentially other people aren't going to do that and they're just acting up online. You have to be secure in the decision, knowing that the game is a way that you don't appreciate, understand, or agree with, and that is enough for you to not play it. And I
The
understand
game is not fun.
for some people, it'll feel like a death of part of your hobbies, a part of your daily routines, a part of who you are and what you do. I get it. You just have to decide if that is strong enough for you to feel better about not being a part of the game overall, or if the decision is horrible, but you're still going to interact with the game in a different way. And I'm not saying whatever you do is wrong. It's your decision personally. What I will say is wrong is you going online and saying, I hate this. This is wrong. I'm never playing again. Nobody should ever play. And then you log off the internet and then you go pick up the game and play it. Don't be that person. Just either go online and say how you really feel or don't go online at all.
May I give a little bit of sage advice?
May you please repeat the sentence?
May
Yeah,
you
go
please
ahead.
repeat the word? May I suggest that you say what you mean what you say, and don't say it mean. Thanks.
Very good, MomBrain. We could all live by those rules in all of our lives, day to
Myself
day.
included.
Smasher says, yes, that's very true. Smasher says, as someone that played before and a lot during the pandemic, meeting people outside was a lot safer than inside. Remote Pets has really made the experience worse. The difference with seeing people every walk that played to basically 2 to none, and from 30+ people, most raid hours walking to just a core group of less than 10, often 3 or 4, and raids filled by remote players, sometimes blocking in-person players. Since all can play remotely or invite people to solo raids, this is a very welcome change and it should have happened earlier, in my opinion. Now that people have finished rating and got all the necessary XL, shiny, or 100% on a lot of Pokemon that were in the pandemic. So free to play makes it harder to catch up on those raids and getting those 296 XL candies. Will be interesting to see how the turnout with this change. Will be interesting to see how the turnout is with this change. And shadow raids starting to happen. It changes communities globally. Yeah, I mean, Niantic's got the information. I don't think this is a case of Niantic being like, we just want more money. I think that it's true. I think how people are playing is fundamentally changed by the game. I just don't know that making those changes and then being like, well, players, you're wrong for liking those changes and we're going back to the way it was. I don't know that. I don't think that's the right decision. I think it means maybe fundamentally you need to change something about the game to make those current players feel still appreciated and welcomed, and also give those who like to get out and about more, make them feel loved and appreciated as well. So maybe not I understand a solution is needed. Maybe they didn't go with the right solution. Time will tell. A lot of people vote with their wallets.
Joe Shabadoo is
Joe Shabadoo
is building on say what you mean what you say and don't say it mean. Joe Shabadoo says to quote Lewis Cole, you can do what you want to, you can say what you want to, you can be what you want to, but mean it.
Joe Shabadoo, Lewis Cole fan. As if I couldn't love you more than I already do. Now I do a little bit more. Lewis Cole, fantastic.
Big Lewis Cole fans over here.
Look up Lewis Cole on YouTube. Great. Knower as a band and Lewis Cole as an individual. Great music. Great. Well, that's all subjective, but I think all of us at the table here enjoy Lewis Cole. And
he's a fantastic drummer.
His bank account song or whatever it is. Love that song. Relate to it. Moving on. What do we got here? Hey, everybody, we got news to celebrate. This is great news for our friends in Europe. You live in, if you're part of if you live somewhere that's part of the European Economic Area, the UK and Switzerland. So it's basically almost entirely Europe. There's a couple places left out. But if you have a Switch and your Joy-Cons are being
I saw this.
Glonky, we have great news. Nintendo has now extended the free repair and replace offer to everyone again.
But didn't they have to?
In the European Economic Area, the UK and Switzerland. They did not have to. The organization reached out to Nintendo to address the situation, and Nintendo said they worked with them and they will do it. There's no legal binding agreement or anything like that. Now, here's the thing. Nintendo probably did it because it probably would have went legal. Yeah. I don't know how that would have played out, but Nintendo's like, instead of doing that, they came to us with the request. Let's do it. So Nintendo says, quote, Nintendo takes great pride in creating high quality and durable products and continuously making improvements to them. Therefore, and until further notice, Nintendo offers to consumers who purchase the respective product in the EEA, UK, and Switzerland that repairs for responsiveness syndrome. That's Nintendo's term for drift. Responsiveness syndrome. MomBrain, I think you have that. Whenever I'm talking to you. Relating to control
sticks.
It's
called ADHD and mild hearing loss.
Relating to control sticks will be conducted at no charge by official Nintendo repair centers. Again, you send it into Nintendo. They will either repair it for free, or if it's beyond repair, they will give you a new set of Joy-Con for free. So there you go. Europe, a reason to celebrate and no reason for anyone to complain. You could certainly say they should have done it sooner. I would agree with that. But now that's a moot point because it's done. So if you've been holding out, now's your time. Get in touch with Nintendo. I gave you the link to the specific website where you can go to call or get the information to send your stuff. All's good.
Joe Shabadoo wants to know if we know Clown Core.
Oh, yes. Him and the other guy. They play. They've played in a porta potty. I've seen their shows. Yes, they're amazing.
I saw the porta potty one.
I just saw them on stage last week. Actually, not in person. I saw it on YouTube. That's just what they told me. Hellman 1704 quotes Nintendo saying Nintendo takes great pride in creating high quality and durable products. End quote. And Hellman says, "Dude, this is so cynical. It makes me angry." Hellman, I know. Whoever brought up that I say listen a lot, they were right, and I never knew it in my entire life, but I say it all the time. Listen, hell, man. I used to be with you. I used to feel that kind of things, but you got to look at it this way. For as crappy as it is, the company's never going to be like, we made a poor quality product and we were wrong, because they're just not going to say that. The company's got to be its own hype man. Otherwise, who the hell else is going to be? So I understand reading that stuff and getting frustrated. I'm not saying you shouldn't get frustrated. It's just let it go, because the company's got to say that stuff. They could have done an apology. That would have been nice. Yeah, but they're just going to, I know Nintendo's way of thinking is the apology is us repairing things for free. So I get it. I get it. I get your being upset. I do get it. I'm not telling you don't be upset. I'm just saying it's the company. They gotta take that approach. What else we got here? In non-spoiler Mario movie news.
Is that Miyamoto sitting with the guy who played Varys from Game of Thrones? It looks just like
Oh
him.
no, Miyamoto's sharing all this information with them. He's gonna send it through sparrows all over the kingdom.
Spiders.
Well, they were. What are they?
Oh, were they little birds?
They were birds,
As
right? He
sparrows?
called the
Okay,
kids as little
okay.
birds, but I thought he sent sparrows. Maybe they weren't sparrows.
He's the spider.
Right,
then.
his nickname is the
yes.
Spider.
That's right.
Miyamoto talked. It's Chris Meledandri is the guy's name, the head of Illumination.
Varys Melandandri.
He talked about how
Children are easy to please.
why they failed in previous adaptations of Nintendo properties.
He
Basically
said,
talking about the Mario movie from 1993 without mentioning it by name.
he said previous movies didn't have enough slow motion Mamma Mia's.
Hey,
from
we said
Mario.
we're done with spoilers. No
Is
spoilers.
that a spoiler?
I mean, that's something that happens in the movie that you
I
don't know
think
from
Mario
the trailer.
saying "Mamma Mia" should be expected.
Guys, please, no details about the movie you saw. That wasn't in trailers. I don't want to ruin. We promise people no spoilers.
Mamma Mia.
So let's stay away from all that. Yeah, so the 1993 Mario movie, spoilers for those who haven't seen that, not very good. And Nintendo stayed away from cinematic adaptations for decades. And we all know it was because of that. That was the final nail in the coffin. And Miyamoto danced around it, but he said basically the lack of cooperation between Nintendo and that movie company at the time, as well as on the script, Miyamoto's like, we didn't really have any input on the movie. So what came out was something we weren't really happy about, but we didn't have any say in it because we weren't allowed to have any say in it. So they were like, that didn't exactly go as planned. So yes, we had a lot of trepidation of returning to the movie industry, but Illumination recognized that and worked with us very closely on this movie. And even if you don't like this movie, you can certainly agree that Nintendo and Illumination obviously worked very closely. And Illumination had a very deep understanding and respect and paid very close attention to everything Mario, because it's a love letter to all things Mario, without a doubt, on that side of things. So, yeah, you get it. And this is just the start of whatever comes for them. And there will be a lot more in terms of cinema. I am sure of it. Miyamoto also was asked by Variety, the same people that did the last question, about Mario games. They're like, hey, how about a new Mario game? Because Variety obviously doesn't know the day-to-day with Nintendo, because you're never going to ask Miyamoto or anyone in Nintendo, and he's going to be like, oh yeah, we're going to talk about it next month. It's going to be Mario and I don't know, whatever. He's not going to say anything. But Variety tried when they had Miyamoto there. And Miyamoto says, quote, well, all I can say is please stay tuned for future Nintendo Directs, end quote.
Sure, why not?
So a big non-state. Of course it's going to be announced by Nintendo Direct.
This
Nintendo
isn't-
fans know that. So
Why is this a top story then?
because it's still for me, that's more than Miyamoto usually says, but the message itself isn't anything special. But people are like, Miyamoto confirms new Mario and Nintendo Direct. And I'm like, it's not really what he said. So I'm trying to put the top story here to be like, here's what was really said. Because of course that's where he's going to announce it. So guaranteed the next Nintendo Direct, if there's not a new Mario game, people are going to be like, but Mario, sir, Miyamoto said it's going to be there. Why isn't it here? So here's your PSA. That's exactly what Miyamoto said.
Man.
Conan Giga says standard questions lead to standard answers. There you go.
Standard
questions. We all learn what happens when you get standard questions.
Yeah, you get an open hand slap.
That's right. We don't need to do that one because it's a moot point now. All right, team. I'm sorry, but here we are. March 2023 in Japan.
Yay.
The top 30. This is only Switch, and this is eShop. Now remember, eShop means every game that's on the Switch, because every game that comes with the Switch is on the eShop. But we're looking at Japan, and we're looking at top 30. Michaels, do you have a guess?
I do. He's sitting right across from me. Kirby and the Forgotten Realm.
Kirby and the Forgotten Realm is
Maybe not.
not on the list. I'm so sorry. You're out. Kirby, now you're up.
Pokemon Scarlet.
Pokemon Scarlet is number. I'll give it to you.
Is it a Pokemon?
Yeah, Pokemon Violet's here, so
Okay.
you're good. I was looking
yeah,
for
I'm sorry.
Scarlet or Violet.
I only remember.
Oh yeah,
Scarlet.
Scarlet's number 19, so they're there.
Okay.
Scarlet and Violet are accounted for. MomBrain.
Splatoon.
By the way, reigning defending champion here in Kirby. Splatoon is number 2. Yes, back to you, Kirby.
Oh boy.
She didn't clarify which Splatoon.
Splatoon 3.
Yes. Okay, continue.
Back to the music.
Is Animal Crossing on there?
Animal Crossing is number 9. Yes, back to you, MomBrain. The battle is on. This is a way better way of doing this. It only took me 15 years.
I'm gonna say well, I think I would be right if I said well, what if I said
5. 4.
Zelda?
Zelda.
You gotta be more specific.
Sure, be more specific.
The newest one. Why can't I think of the name?
The newest one from 6 years ago, you mean?
Yeah.
Wow. Is that specific enough for you, dude?
I mean, it's the one that's on the list.
Spoiler alert.
It's the essence, the essence of what I'm talking about. What I mean.
I don't know what you're saying by that sentence. Just tell me the name of the game.
I can't remember.
Hey, look at me.
I don't remember.
Tears of the Kingdom.
You remember the one that's not out? Just whatever. We're not doing it. Yes, Breath of the Wild.
There we go.
Jesus Christ. Kirby, back to you.
Oh, no.
Number 11, by the way.
I should have just said Kirby
Hey,
regular instead of being specific, and then I'd still be in the game.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is number 5. Yes. MomBrain, on to you.
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem is not on the list, MomBrain. I'm sorry. Kirby defends his crown. The winner yet again. Oh, don't. That's for you? There you go. That's for Kirby. Number 1, yes, you would have been on there. Number 1 is so close. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe.
Yeah, so...
Thank you, Grantimus. I appreciate that.
Never mind, continue.
No, go ahead.
Go
ahead.
I won't even.
Okay. No, go ahead. I want to hear it now.
Full disclosure, I about 20 minutes ago, while you were starting top news, I looked at the list. I memorized it all, and I started at number 1, and I just said the wrong Kirby game, and I was excited to crush everybody.
So since we are in the know here, and we're being honest,
this is the first time I've ever done it.
I
knew
you were doing it. I knew you were getting the information.
But I got it wrong.
I know, which makes it really funny.
Well, why didn't you point it out? Because it's hilarious.
Because that's why I was waiting to get to this point.
Oh, okay.
It is really funny because I knew you were going ahead, and then you said that one. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, I was really confident too. And then when you said it wasn't on there, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
no, there's another Kirby game that I don't
Also,
know
you
about really.
you betray yourself because I know you don't like this segment. So when you show
When
any
I was
kind
excited,
of excitement,
yeah, I was very
yeah.
excited to trounce. I was saving
Yeah.
Among Us for last because no one was ever gonna guess that.
Well, Among Us is always on there.
Yeah, but no one ever guesses.
no
it.
one here would guess it. You're right.
Yeah, that Monster Hunter. I'll
That's number
tell you
3.
what the list is. I have it memorized.
Tell me number 4.
So number 4, I couldn't pronounce it, so I skipped that one.
Paranormal Site.
Yeah, yeah. So skip that one.
Okay.
What's number 5?
Number 5 is Mario Kart. Number 6 is Pokemon Violet. Number 7.
Minecraft.
Yes. Number 8.
I said it already. Among Us.
Yes. Number 9 is Animal Crossing. Number 10. You're not.
I
Gonna
couldn't pronounce it.
Kabuto Kuwagata. Number 11 was Zelda. Number 12.
Number 12 was Smash.
No. Number 12 was eBaseball.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Number 13. I'll stop. I mean, I don't want to put you through the ringer if you want to go.
No, it's not embarrassing. It's just
Okay.
now I'm like forgetting what the last the tail end of the list was. What was on there?
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, just go. I don't think I can remember any of the others.
Ark Survival Evolved. Number 14 was Sultan Sanctuary. Number 15 was Smash. Number 16 was Power Wash Simulator. By the way, free Final Fantasy VII DLC in that one. Number 17 is Fury. Number 18 is Atelier Ryza 3. Number 19 is Pokemon Scarlet. And number 20 is Ib. There you go. There's your top 20. Kirby, congratulations on holding on to your crown yet again. Unstoppable, the
thanks.
man is.
No, I've just been getting lucky.
I don't know. Maybe this guy's reading them beforehand. Miyamoto talks about Mario and mobile games. He's like, I gotta stop saying listen. I do it all the time.
Linda, listen.
We need we need a Navi.
Yeah.
Listen.
Navi's been in the Discord.
If we are doing another Mario game, mobile's not going to be our first choice. Miyamoto says, quote, first and foremost, Nintendo's core strategy is a hardware and software integrated gaming experience. The intuitiveness of the control is a part of the gaming experience. When we explored the opportunity of making Mario games for the mobile phone, which is a more commonplace generic device, it was challenging to determine what that game should be. This is why I played the role of director for Super Mario Run, to be able to translate that Nintendo hardware experience into smart devices. Mobile apps will not be the primary path of future Mario games. There you go. Because he's like, we tried to do a Mario game on mobile. We tried to make it not free to play. We made it $1 for everything. And you people decided that's not good enough. So here's where we are. So I people will be happy because they don't want Mario mobile games anyway. Hawk says, oh, darn, this news will probably only upset people who own stock in Nintendo but don't truly understand it as a business. I don't think there's anything wrong with a Mario mobile game. I think a Mario game could work on any platform. But if you wanted another Mario mobile game, looks like you're not going to get that. Speaking of Mario and movies, but not spoilers, the 1993 live-action Mario movie is a gem. And Sci-Fi spoke to Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jankel, the directors of the movie.
It's pronounced Tim Burton.
I think I read this interview.
It's pronounced Ricky Martin. Rocky Morton and Ricky
I
Martin.
hear he loves Polish sausage.
Annabelle Jankel.
Annabelle Jankum and Ricky Martin were the ones who wrote the
That's
Mario
like the
movie.
Wheel of Fortune answer.
That's good. That's good. And they said the script that they did for the movie, as in the script that was in the final cut of the movie, was not the script they were originally going with. We talked about that script last week with all the differences between that and the movie that we got. But these two say the original script that they had would have rivaled Batman. Would have rivaled Batman by Tim Burton. It was their Batman, they call it. So the Bill and Ted writer, Ed Solomon, came in at the behest of Disney to rework the Mario movie, because the Mario movie was from a subsidiary of Disney. So the Bill and Ted writer did what he did and gave us the movie that we got. So blame that man. But Ricky Martin and Annabelle Jankum had a different script. Ricky Martin says, quote, I remember saying to Annabelle, this is it. This is going to be our Batman. It was very fantasy oriented and childlike. I wanted to make a film that was mainly for kids, but also had qualities their parents could enjoy. Jankum says, quote, "It was brilliantly esoteric. A road movie that would possibly make a fantastic film that probably would have been equally reviled because it was such a huge step away from the game." Interesting idea. We were animators and thought in visual terms, so for us, script writer Barry Morrow's journey wasn't going to work. Well, I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know. Never know. I guess we'll never know.
We'll
The
never
movie we
know.
didn't make, it would have been the best.
Exactly.
Fans would have loved it, and they would have loved how it was nothing like the game. But
I'm
movie
happy
they
you're
got?
being a little cynical about this because I want to kind of rip into these two right now. Like, no offense, but it sounds like your movie sucked too. Like, it just does. But we'll never know, will we?
well, I'm not going to say it sounds like the movie would have sucked because we don't know. But yeah, it's very easy to be like, the movie that came out, nobody liked it, it was garbage. The movie we were going to do would have been great.
It was
Could
gonna.
have been true.
It
but
would
we'll never
rival
know. We'll never
Tim
know.
Burton's Batman. Sure, it would.
We will never know.
That is not correct.
My sister is asking me about the Mario movie.
Tell her to listen to the podcast. Or actually,
Sure.
don't. It's too many spoilers.
Oh, that's right. Yes. I'm going to guess she doesn't care about spoilers. Yes.
We're gonna see her tomorrow.
Oh my God, we are.
Tomorrow.
YouTube has hit 100 billion views on Mario content. That Mario is pretty popular on YouTube. This was sent over to us by YouTube, so thank you, YouTube. 2022 was Mario's most uploaded year ever. Over, let's say, 2.5 million videos were uploaded on YouTube that were about Mario in one way or another. Pretty crazy. More
of
than
them
any
were
other year.
Most of them were just like reversed reloads and watermarked versions of Mario and Sonic just making out.
That's, man, I'm so glad you went there because I was going to make that joke. That's exactly right. They were all Mario and Sonic kissing and undressing each other like we saw.
No wonder the views are so high.
That's right. We also have, would you guys like to do an offhanded top 10? YouTube revealed the top 10 most viewed Super Mario game videos.
I already
on
looked
YouTube.
and cheated. I saw it all.
All right, then I'll just go.
Yeah, he believed it.
Kirby would have won anyway.
Number 10, Super Mario Party. Number 9, Super Mario Odyssey. Number 64. Number 4, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 3, Super Mario Maker 2. Number 2, Super Mario Brothers Ultimate.
I know
believe
what
it or
number
not,
one
number one
is. Super Mario Bros.
The original Super Mario Bros. Still has
okay.
the most amount of views for YouTube videos. Pretty
It's
interesting
probably
stuff.
watching like crazy speedrunners or something. I see
Yeah,
a
that's definitely
ton
got a
of crazy.
part of it. The US accounts for 21% of all Mario views. Japan accounts for 20%. And 49% are rest of the world. Then there's smaller percentages in there that don't really. Brazil is 4%, and Mexico is 4.2. That's articles filled with all kinds of interesting stats. You should go check it out. An amazing milestone for our main man, says Sinfield.
Woo!
Time for a new mainline Mario title, Nintendo. Just a tease will do to
Main
keep
man
those
Mario
views
title.
rolling. Yeah, I'm down. I'm ready.
Mario's too popular for main man status, right?
Mario,
He's too pop, I think,
yeah.
for
Yeah.
it.
come on. He's one of the most popular men in the world. He can't be a main man. It's impossible. It'd be like making Mickey Mouse a main man. You can't do it. Well,
Well, you can't do that anyway. Just 'cause
he's a mouse.
Speaking of Mickey
it
Mouse,
stinks.
I have to tell you guys, you know how
Mickey Mouse.
you know how B Money came over for WrestleMania and wanted everybody's autograph. He's big GoNintendo podcast
Oh,
fan.
yeah.
Oh,
Well-
yeah, that was really sweet.
So Droth said, "Do you want to bring your autograph book with you?" And because he has, from like when he was a little kid, and he looks at her and he goes, "Mom, that has Mickey Mouse's autograph in it. No, I am not having them sign it." So he just brought a random piece of like white
But is
computer
it-
paper.
Is it because Mickey's better than us or because we're better than Mickey?
It's because we're better than Mickey.
Okay, just making
So
sure.
shout out to our boy B Money.
Hey, Mickey, F you. In
We
your
are
stupid
cooler.
A, in your stupid mouse A.
We are
That's
cooler than
right.
you, Mickey.
Moving on very quickly.
I don't know.
Miyamoto said, quote, nothing to announce, end quote, in the near future about more Nintendo movies. They're going to do more. They're just not ready to talk about it. Obviously, never mind. Can't say that. They're going to do more movies. I mean, I think everybody knows that, but we got to, for some reason, play pretend like they're not going to do more. All right, one movie from you guys, and we're good. We also just built the whole park around your licensed IP, but we're going to do one movie.
Yeah, why are we tiptoeing around this
Yeah,
stuff?
it's stupid, but there you go. Kirby, you were going to say something.
Was I?
I
Oh,
thought so.
I was just going to make a joke about trying not to upset,
Mickey Mouse fans?
well, yeah, the hardcore Disney fans who, go to Disney World like every year.
Hey, I got nothing wrong with those. I'd love to go to Disney every year. And I'm a hardcore Disney fan because I love Star Wars and I love Marvel. So I'm part of the family too. So there you go. I am among your ranks, people. And I don't think there's anything wrong with anyone going to Disney whenever they want. They could go there to look at the plants if they want.
That's what my mom does. She's an annual pass holder. She
There
just
you go.
she was
But how do you
actually a
feel
little
about Mickey
disappointed.
Mouse?
I like Mickey, especially the new cartoons. I really like those.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
very
those are
excited
okay.
for the new Mickey game that's coming out, the Illusion Island or whatever it's called. Switch exclusive 4-player co-op platformer. I love that idea. It looks great. And I love the art style in it too. Yeah. I was just reading an interview about it this week. I'm very pumped for that game. Comes out June, I think. June 28th, something like that. Yes, totally down. Those new Mickey cartoons I think are legit funny. Really like them. They do they take a lot of stuff from cartoons that I appreciated growing up as a kid, like Ren and Stimpy. These new Mickey cartoons have like the very close up, gross out faces and stuff like that.
I
So
watched
I love it.
that Halloween special, which that was pretty funny.
I got a Mickey clip on my phone right now. The
Mickey
What Happened
clip.
one, where he runs over and he goes,
What happened? Yeah.
I love it. There you go. What I'm trying to say is world's biggest Mickey Mouse fan right here. Miyamoto talked about how he wants Nintendo to be viewed as, quote, almost a necessity for any family. Let me just get to... I want to get to we got a whole big quote here, but I want to just get to the necessity part because we don't need to hear all that other jazz. There's one, there's two. Oh, nope, there's three. Okay. Miyamoto says, quote, talking about the Super Nintendo World Park and in the movie as well, to see people's reaction as enjoying Nintendo as a product, Nintendo as a brand, was something that was really great to see. I wanted to really make sure that people understand that Nintendo is something that brings reassurance, that is safe and really almost like a necessity for any family. That's the kind of thing that I'd really like to make sure happens. I mean, that's Nintendo's DNA from day one. They want to be something that families appreciate, everyone in the family can appreciate, and something that will always be safe for families to let into their home, because you can get a Nintendo game, a Mario game, an Animal Crossing, a Splatoon, and your family doesn't have to worry about anything strange being in there, anything uncomfortable or anything weird or anything violent. It's something you can always welcome into the house, and a family knows it's cool. They're cool to play a Nintendo game on their own. They don't have to worry about it. So
that's why they didn't have any
nudity,
Love Hotel Easter eggs in the movie. Of course not.
We didn't pick it apart closely. Maybe there's something in there. Yeah. I mean, this, like I said, that's Nintendo's DNA, and Miyamoto is Nintendo's DNA, so it makes perfect sense. I completely understand.
Love Hotels DNA. This is getting kind of gross.
No. Dark Wares says Nintendo is necessary for anyone who claims to like video games, in my opinion. Between Web3 grifting, aggressive marketing, Nintendo or Sony Microsoft's predatory EULAs, where you agree that you no longer buy games when you buy them, and people talking about their NVIDIA TPK 69420 graphics card, that's not a real one, and what kinds of games they could theoretically play if they could get the rest of their rig assembled and booting up, and the diminishing returns of Moore's Law. Talking about video games when you're not talking about Nintendo just doesn't feel like you're talking about video games anymore. Gimme the people that just discovered that huge pixel Luigi wandering in the ocean in the background of Mario 3D World, or who want to show off their favorite weapon combo in Bayonetta 3, and for whom the Switch's CPU, GPU are just not as interesting a topic as what Monolith Soft is up to at any given moment. Said with more aggression that I would go with, and a little more vitriol and
We
anger than I would.
but we admire your passion.
But the base sentiment, I do agree with. I'm not about the graphics wars. I used to be because I was young and ignorant. Now I'm about playing games. I don't think Nintendo is above anybody else. I particularly enjoy Nintendo's games in ways that I don't enjoy most other games, but it's all about playing the games. Just for me, it's about playing the games. That's like, give me a visual novel that looks like it was drawn by a third grader. Give me Uncharted, which looks fantastic and it's a great adventure. Just, I want to play the games. Just give me the game. I want the game. Give me the game.
Nice.
There you go. That's that.
Yeah, I think at this point in my life, when I hear like talk about graphics cards, my eyes just kind of glaze over.
Oh, I would unfortunately say the talk is bigger than ever right now, but who knows? Yeah, Moore's Law. Great thing to, oh my God, great thing to bring up. What do we got in North America? Let me tell you, it's a long list.
J. Moore's Law?
J.
Oh,
Moore's Law.
I thought it was going to be Sir Thomas
yeah,
More.
Oh, I was going to say something political. We're going to move away from that.
Go.
North
out
America,
of
what do
there.
we got? We got paparazzi
Woo!
Wow.
taking pictures of dogs.
Damn you, paparazzi!
That's a great
Tron
screenshot.
Identity coming out April 11th. Here, I will get this out of the way now. I am under embargo for Tron Identity. I have completed Tron Identity. I will have a review when the embargo lifts. I cannot tell you how I like the game. I cannot tell you anything about the game. I cannot tell you how I feel about the game. This is what I
Green
will
eggs and
tell
ham.
you.
I thought it was going to rhyme. Yeah.
I will tell you this. I reached out to Bithell Games to beg them to, basically beg them to let me talk about the game on a podcast this weekend. And they said they really appreciate that sentiment, but
shut
they
your
cannot
mouth.
let me. So
I cannot tell you about the game.
There
I
you
cannot
go.
tell you if it's lame.
I can tell you it's coming out April 11th, and it is about Tron. And it was made with Disney's blessing, because those are all facts.
And I can say
You
that
can say whatever you want. You didn't play the game.
Yeah, so I can say that knowing RMC the way I know him, if he wanted to talk about this game on the podcast so bad that he reached out to them, it would probably be for a positive reason. Because knowing RMC, he wouldn't beg them to come and bash the game.
That is conjecture, but I understand what you're saying. I'm just covering myself.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
I'm
don't
not
have to
knocking
cover
you.
anything.
I'm not knocking
Yeah.
you.
I'm playing like level 5 chess.
I think your line of thinking is sound, Deux. But I have no comment on the matter. Curse of the Sea Rats is available.
Curse of the Sea Rat Hats.
There we go. I would like to
Beautiful.
say this is called a Ratroidvania. That's not a lie. That's how they advertise it. It is a beat 'em up and a Metroidvania together. And I was like, have I ever seen that?
She's a mouser.
I'm interested. Batora, Lost Haven, Wild Frost, Another Tomorrow, Arcade Archives, Navarone, Bubble Puzzler, Bumbaloon, Cat Gotchi, Virtual Pet. MomBrain watched a trailer for that yesterday.
I did.
Celebrity Slot Machine, Cube Farmer, Drill Deal, Oil Tycoon. MomBrain, can I beg of you to please give me more water? Water! I'm parched. Dungeons of Aether, Finger Football, Goal in One. That's pretty funny. Finger Football, Goal in One. Forever Lost. Not funny, haha, but like a nice pun.
It's a decent
Forever
pun,
Lost Episode 1, Fury Roads Survivor, Fusion Shift, Garoons, Baboon, 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 Baboons, Baboon, 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 Baboon. That's Simpsons quote. Hyper 5. I'm gonna guess this is Incoherence, Infinite Guitars, Kingdom of Arulia, Mystery of the Poison Dagger, Lucky Slots, Lucky Hit, Madness, Brutal Fighting, Mortal Fight Battle Attack Multiplayer,
No.
Mayhem in Single Valley. Another great pun. Melon Journey, Bittersweet Memories.
Melon be smelling.
That's what I wrote literally in the title of the post, or the byline of the post this week. My name is Mayo. It's an unfortunate name. New York City Driver. Hey, I'm driving here. Numbers and Squares. Paint for Kids. Pretty Girls Tile Match. It's Mahjong with Pretty Girls.
Beauty girls.
Process of Elimination. Repit or Repeat. Station 117. Super cute aliens adventure. Tasty slot machine.
Tasty.
That's my family. Family fun night. Okay.
That's my mama.
The Seventh Guest.
Really?
Never played that. Always wanted to. Never had a computer
that's
that could
classic,
play it.
isn't it?
Yeah. Pretty cool, right? The Adventures of Poppy.
Poppy
That looks
Pede.
interesting to me.
Who's?
It's like a Fazanadu or a Simon's Quest,
Oh,
and it's
okay.
done in 8-bit style. I watched the trailer and I was like, this looks interesting. I'm
You
going
are
to
a
check it
big-
out.
Yeah, you're a big Xanadu fan.
I do love that game. Great soundtrack in that game, too. The answer is 42. It's a puzzle game. The Jota collection, or maybe the Hota collection, not about Hota Kadbi, though. The Library of Babel, which is a real thing, but this game is based on, I guess, partially based on that. Tormentor Action Fire Counter Shooter Game 2023 Gunstrike Simulator. Tuya. Thank you, MomBrain. Oh, it's
There
Piper.
she
She hates being
is.
picked up. Oh, put her down. She hates it. Ultimate 4x4 off-road parking trucks, car driving racing simulator 2023 light speed games. Volley Pals, Witch Explorer, Zodiacalic. That's a fun name to say. Zodiacalic.
Zodiacalic.
Zodiakalik. Zodiacalic. I like that name. Zombie Garden versus Plants Defense Battlecraft
Mr.
and Survivor
Zodiacalic.
Simulator game. First comment comes from The Shafe. Already redeemed my Kickstarter code for Curse of the Sea Rats. Pretty fun little game. That's right. That was Kickstarted quite a while ago, and now you get to see what it's about. Josh, could you please set us up for the old European releases?
Oh, I got
No, we don't need you. No, we don't need you either. It's Josh. I don't know. You guys don't have to handle it. For Josh is a consummate professional. He's. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Josh has got it.
Josh, wake up, Josh. Josh.
Wake up.
We'll be right back after a word from our...
Oh dear. He's
Yeah, I scrolled
What are
down.
the
He's
next
rebooting.
European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
Thank you,
Now,
Melissa.
it's time for our European Switch eShop releases for the week of April 6th, the year of our Lord 2023. This
It's
is
a year of our Lord.
Du Michaels filling in for Nicholas Hill. Nikki Hill, we speak your name. Alecon, A Light in the Dark.
A light in the dark.
Arcane Veil. Batora Lost Haven. Beach Cafe 2. Billy 101.
Billy.
Blade Assault. Bones Cafe. Bumballoon. Celebrity Slot Machine. Cube Farmer. Curse of the Sea Rats. Dungeons of Aether. Eglian. Epopoea Bundle Co-op Puzzles.
I really like the way you say that.
Thank you. Pipiopi. Eventide. Yeah. Eventide Slavic Fable. Finger Football Goal in 1. Formula Retro Racing World Tour. Fusion Shift. Gemini. Goroons. Grim Grimoire Once More. Guns and Runs. Hi. Lean. Lean? Ean.
I think it's Ian. Yeah, I went with Ian.
All right. Kitty Rainbow. Lucky Slots. Marfusha.
Barfusha
Melon.
Lame running through the jungle at you.
Melon Journey. Bittersweet Memories.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Nikki Hill would be very mad, so feel free to be mad. Did you know Marsupilami is a thing that's still going on? Like, it wasn't a Disney thing. Disney just did a cartoon.
Oh, it's based on like an old like Belgian comic strip or something,
Yeah,
right?
I had no idea until just recently because a brand new Marsupilami game just came out. And I was like, Disney's doing Marsupilami again? And I was like, no, they're not. And I went down the whole rabbit hole. So, there
Yeah,
you go.
I think when I was like really young, like someone I knew had like a comic book with the character in it. and-
It's
yeah.
funny because I've read a Marsupilami comic, but only in that Disney Afternoons like magazine that they used to have, the
Oh,
little
okay.
one at like supermarket. So there you go. I've been waiting for Marsupilami's return. He's been there the whole time, and I didn't know.
Yeah,
Sorry.
apparently it's a very old property.
Sorry, Drew.
It's okay. My name is Mayo. New York City driver. Paint for kids. Panda's Village. Path of Colors. Pretty Girls Tile Match. Paparazzi. Road 96, Mile 0. Tsukuchi Ninja. Star Chase for Make-A-Wish.
Wonder if that's actually related to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I have no clue.
Super Cute Aliens Adventure. Tac Tac Prologue. Tasty Slot Machine. The Seventh Guest. The Adventures of Poppy. The Answer is 42. Volley Pals. Witch Explorer. And last but not least, Zeus, God of Lightning.
Thank you, dude.
No comments
No
this
comment
week.
this week. Nobody cared.
So, Kirby, don't look at my computer.
Oh, sorry.
Also, you are not in the Discord, correct?
I am not.
Because I have faith that you're going to get this.
Oh,
We're
boy.
talking about favorite Disney characters. Well, Disney princesses. Alternate Liz was asking. And I was like, I really don't have any. I mean, Princess Leia, but I know what you mean when you're asking Disney princesses. So I put my 3 favorite Disney characters off the top of my head. Mary Poppins, of course.
Mhm.
Mad Madam Mim,
I was
of
gonna,
course.
guess
And
Madam Mim.
the other one I put in, people didn't know, and I think you're the only one who's going to get this. What movie would you say if I said the name Eglantine Price? Eglantine,
It's like
Eglantine.
like
oh,
a sleeper
how you
agent
shine.
activation.
Your
work.
lot and my lot have got to combine. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I mean, you said name
Wait
and
a
you didn't
minute.
get it, and now you're giving them a whole song. So I'm not going to be that impressed now.
Shoot. I'm sorry.
What if I said the name Cosmic Creepers?
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. What's
I call him Cosmic Creepers because that's the name he came with. Yeah, her name is Eglantine. Eglantine Price.
Beautiful name.
that-
Family name?
And there's a whole song
did they
about
ever call her?
Eglantine.
Did they ever? Oh yeah,
They
I-
just call her Miss Price.
Yeah, that's what I remember them just calling her Miss
We were going to
Price.
go with Susan or Eglantine,
And-
so we went with Eglantine.
Anastasia Beaverhausen keeps putting like little pictures and clips and oh god, it's such a great movie.
Speaking of movies you
It's pretty
like, but
good,
I
yeah.
also think you're terrified of this movie. Dead by Daylight is the 4v1 asymmetric multiplayer horror game where there's one killer and 4 people trying to get away. And they just added a whole bunch of new costumes to the game, as they do skins, the kids call them. And they did Alice in Wonderland stuff, and they have like the Jabberwocky and like all kinds of like.
They got a Jub bird in there.
I didn't
A Frumious
dive deep.
Bandersnatch.
Let me tell you, I can look it up. You know where I can find it? On GoNintendo. I just have to figure out what word to
Interestingly
type in. Probably
enough,
Alice.
I mean, very interesting. My 2 favorite movies as a little kid were Bedknobs and Broomsticks and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, both set during World War II. And like
Yeah.
both kids like being evacuated. Like I didn't realize that, but like
So they have skins for the Red Queen, Alice, Cheshire, Mad Hatter, and Frumious Jabberwock.
And Bed Knobs and Broomsticks has actual Nazis in it.
yeah, absolutely. Traguna Magoides and Tracorum Sanctus D, actually.
Are you casting spells?
Yeah,
what
that
was
is
that?
that is a spell. And it
What's
brings
gonna happen then?
it brings all of the
You're going to become a woman who always looks old.
no, it's the armor. It brings all the
It's about
armor to life.
Angela Lansbury.
No.
Love that.
You're
So
going to be in a murder mystery show where you're actually the murderer.
Dorothy just sent me the clip where there it is. Oh, so good. The mini series Alice in Wonderland with John Stamos, where the
Oh yeah,
where the
really
Jabberwocky
disturbing one.
is there, and she sent it to me, and she was like, "It's still scary, isn't it?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is." And I think it's really scary because it's this like you get this like peacefulness because she feels like she's safe and she's home, and then it like comes at her, and like I think that's where some of the seat of many of my fears live.
Statues.
Well,
Hair.
that's where the statue thing started with bed knobs and broomsticks.
Okay. Are you afraid of
And
beds?
in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Are you afraid of beds?
Oh,
Or
certainly not.
knobs.
Are you afraid of brooms?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, the
and I
story doesn't
used
check
to-
out then.
I had a day bed that had bed knobs.
She ain't afraid of knobs, Kirby. Let me tell you.
And
Oh no.
I used to love to try to tap it and turn it, and nothing ever happened.
Not yet. Not yet.
Now-
one
but
day
I don't
when
have
you
bed
walk
knobs
into,
anymore.
whatever, a wardrobe, you'll show up with that stupid asshole, whatever he is, the goat man.
Good lord.
He's not
Hey,
a goat.
guy's
He's
an
a
asshole.
fawn. He's a fawn.
This fight has happened
Oh, you're
since
talking
pretty
about
much
Mr.
month
Tumnus
one of our
again.
relationship to now, and it will never end because Mr. Tumnus sucks.
He doesn't suck. He made a mistake. He had no choice. He was being oppressed by the government.
Why do some people in your eyes get forgiveness and others don't?
Because I judged them on what they do, and Mr. Tumnus sucks.
Hey,
and will
only
forever
God can
suck.
judge him, okay?
Well, C.S. Lewis
God,
would agree
I was
with
gonna
that.
say God's definitely a part of it. So.
Oh yeah.
By
Sorry,
God,
I,
you
I
mean
should have
lion.
said only Aslan can
Yes.
judge him.
Moving on. We're not going to do the top stories about all the money that the Mario Brothers movie is making because I don't know the update today. I'll have to get back to it. But it was on track to have, last I checked, an over 300 million 5-day cum, which would be unbelievable. That'd be a huge debut.
Unbelievable.
And last I heard, it was beating all expectations. And then Illumination's highest grossing opening for a movie was Despicable Me 2 at 143 million. And as of yesterday, it was projected that Mario would beat that. So I would imagine, I'm going to guess that, Anastasia Beaver hasn't updated. They say it made $2. My numbers are wrong. I'm sorry, guys.
Here's your $2.
For $1. For $1.
There we go.
I don't
so
think
yeah,
that's gonna be enough.
I heard very good things. We'll find out tomorrow, the final numbers, obviously. But here's what we know for sure. It's doing amazingly well. It was #1 in multiple countries. It set new records in multiple countries, not just for 2023,
Amazing.
like all together. So it's doing big business. So you can bet Illumination and Universal are extremely happy about this. So we'll see where it goes, but it could, I don't know, depending on how this weekend closes out, we could easily have a $1 billion movie. Move over, Avatar, except not really, because that made way more than $1 billion, but still. Move over. Quantumania. I'm trying to think of recent hits. Move over, Top
over.
Gun.
Move over, Black Adam.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Ooh,
That's what
Shazam 2.
DC said to The Rock. Move over, Black Adam, because you suck. MomBrain,
You suck. Your tequila
Yes.
sucks.
what'd you play?
Merge Mansion,
How's it going?
real well. Right now there's a little like Easter event going on, so I have 2 boards to play, which is always exciting. And a little Penny and Flo.
Any Pedro Pascal sightings? Still not there.
Only in my dreams. So
Move over, Creed 3. Thank you, Super Blast X.
So the problem I have with Merge Mansion is you don't really get a whole lot of playtime unless you want to spend real scratch. Which is frustrating because I actually really enjoy and I focus better if I'm playing while I'm listening to my lectures for school. Just
My trinkets.
and right now it's like a topic that it doesn't require a whole lot of like deep thought, so it's like perfect, but I don't get enough time out of a play. So I've also been supplementing with Penny and Flo.
And how's that going?
I mean, it's a good old standby. I enjoy it. It's nice. No complaints.
Well, I'm glad you're having fun.
Mhm.
And that's it.
Yeah, but maybe this week I'll get a chance to really, dig into something since I'm on spring break.
Spring break, baby. Kirby, what have you been playing?
Nothing really. This past week I was studying and reading and didn't have a lot of time.
Got a couple of bookworms in our midst. Dude, what have you been playing?
Played some Fortnite.
Ain't no reading in that.
Ain't no reading.
Hell yeah.
Ain't no studying. Ain't no reading. Take off my back bling. Put on my back bling.
That
That's what I do.
What dude said was true. In Fortnite, I wear a WWE belt on my back. I am dressed as Spider-Gwen. My back bling is a WWE belt, and my pickaxe was the John Cena foam finger. And I removed both of those things from Spider-Gwen. Now I'm going to put the belt back. I'm going to stay with the Spider-Gwen pickaxe, but the belt's coming back.
And you can do the "you can't see me" emote again.
I thought about that. I did not use it. But they're coming back, baby. Sorry, dude. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. So nobody said anything past couple of weeks, which is fine. I play a lot of video games, and I didn't really have many video games to share the past couple of weeks, and nobody said anything. I thought it would be a topic of conversation. It wasn't, so it's not that big of a deal.
What do you mean?
Well, because I was like, I only played Meg's Monster, and like, it's kind of like, how could he go a whole week with just playing Meg's Monster?
I never ever questioned it.
Oh, well, it's not like a long game, so I have to play games every day. It's like an addiction,
I honestly
so
100% never thought anything.
I didn't want to be nosy.
that's cool. It's no big deal at all. I wasn't going to tell anybody because it's just such a Do Michaels thing, and I didn't want to jinx it for Nintendo. But you know what? We're going to jinx it. So I played and I beat the Wind Waker on the Wii U. I've been-
Wow.
Yeah, I started it up because I got sick and tired of waiting for the Switch version, and before I knew it, I was playing the whole thing. That's what I've been doing. Wii U, I have to say, I'm a little it's depressing getting the tingle bottles, because that was like a cool like online feature where you could send your friends tingle bottles, and like he's up your butt about these tingle bottles, and it's kind of like, can we get an update that, like, you know, because it's depressing that you keep telling me how fun they are, and when you go to it, it's like, this function is no longer supported. You know, 20 years ago it stopped, dummy.
Yeah, it's not fun anymore.
But yeah, I mean, that's an exaggeration. But yeah, it's a really great game. I actually forgot how, like, I don't know. Like, I guess I'm used to. I don't know. I don't know what It's not as long as I remember it being, and I played that game a lot. Maybe I just was really, you know, by now I'm just really good and I know where to go and how to quickly do everything. But like, this might have been a record for me as far as like how quickly I beat it. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because I recently this past year played Twilight Princess. I replayed Twilight Princess, and that's a really long one. So maybe that kind of made this one feel a little short. But I love the way this one is laid out with you know, usually I don't like companions, and the companions in Wind Waker are great, and I don't even know why I'm talking about it. It's a 20-year-old game. We've all played it. So I beat it.
You're talking about it because you played it and you want to talk about it. You go right ahead.
It's Wind Waker. We could talk about it anytime.
Yeah. I love the game. If you haven't played it, you're probably not listening to this podcast. But but yeah, play it, enjoy it. Hopefully it comes to the Switch. I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna buy it and play it anyway on the Switch. Nintendo, you hear me? So just put it out already. I want to be able to pack up my Wii U, put it downstairs.
Yeah, I'd like it to come to the Switch too.
There you go. Granimus says, please, Jeebus, port this shovel to the Switch. And Highland Tom says, Wind Waker is eternally good. And Rami Cowboy says, Makar.
I love Makar. But yeah, I wore a Makar shirt a couple of weeks ago. Nobody said anything. I was asking PC about Wind Waker stuff in the chat, trying to get some. We were talking about Wind Waker a little bit during the podcast. Nobody said
all
a thing.
Here, let me say all this. You are formulating a scheme in your head that no one would ever think. Like, I would never be like, oh, dude's probably secretly playing Wind Waker and not telling me. Like, why would I ever think that ever?
You wouldn't.
I'm picking up these hints he's putting down. He's playing a game and he doesn't want me to know.
Well, next week I'll tell you the other game that I'm playing that I'm keeping.
No,
a secret
tell me now.
No.
Is there really a secret one?
No.
There is.
No, there are that.
I want to know. Now I gotta watch it. Now I gotta decode every. I'm gonna decode everything.
No.
No,
What, man? in reality, I beat Wind Waker like
reality. He's playing something in virtual reality. I'm on. I
That
got
was a
it.
hint.
I beat Wind Waker like a week and a half ago. So it's stupid that I even whatever. I've been playing since then. I've been
Skyrim.
nope. I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima. Man, that game is so good.
Still?
What do you mean still?
I thought
still
you went back
so
to
good
that
still...
like not that long ago.
No, I tried and I never
Oh.
got into it. And then this time I don't know, something stuck this time around. What a wonderful game that is. Man, I love that. I really hope they do a great sequel to that.
They're doing a movie. It's not a lie. That
cool.
might be a lie.
Whatever.
I don't remember if it's a movie or a TV show, but they're doing something.
Whatever. I mean,
With peace and love.
Yeah, with peace and love, I'll watch it, and I'll probably not like it, like everything else in the world. So
Chris Pratt's gonna be the lead.
yeah, exactly. Right? So yeah, I've been playing that. But it's kind of like all this stuff is just all the Zelda stuff was just kind of a refresher. Like I was in a Zelda mood, as you could tell, because I played so many Zeldas this year already, replayed them. And I'm just excited for Tears of the Kingdom. So all that was just kind of a lead up for Tears of the Kingdom. Then I beat Wind Waker, and I was like, I still have 2 months. What do I play to like kind of fill this void? So
Oracle of Ages and Seasons.
Is that out? Those aren't out yet, right? Or no, because you would have reported on that.
No. I was thinking if you have something where you can't get them anymore, you just missed your window of opportunity.
Oh, I tried to download some stuff on the 3DS before it shut down, and you had to go on Nintendo's website and put in the funds, and then it would show up. You couldn't do it right on the 3DS, and I did it wrong, and I put the funds in through the Switch, and then they weren't there on the 3DS, and then I couldn't log in on the website, and I was like, you know what? It's all just to buy Earthbound on the 3DS and then never play it on the 3DS, because why would I? So I just saved some money and chalked it up to not knowing what the heck I was doing in the shops.
Wii U and 3DS shops are closed to new purchases, but remember, if you already bought stuff, you can still probably in somewhere near perpetuity go and re-download what you've already purchased. So not closed to re-downloads, just closed to new purchases.
Well, but that's what I played. Like I said, it's all kind of whatever I can do to bide my time until Tears of the Kingdom comes out. I have a feeling that's going to take up a lot of my time, and I have a feeling similar to Breath of the Wild, it will kind of ruin open world games for me for a little while. So I'm just kind of getting some of that stuff out of the system, and then we've got that coming up. And in 12 days, Dead Island 2 is coming out, and I'll probably be rocking that all the way until Tears of the Kingdom. So you'll be hearing a lot of stuff from me about stuff nobody else cares about.
Interested to see how that one does. I honestly don't know how it's going to do. I can't figure it out. Like I can't place if it's going to do. I think it'll do okay, but I don't know if people go nuts over it or not.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a weird one, because the first one was like unexpected. Like no one even cared or really knew about it, and it came out, and then it turned into like this big hit. People were like surprised at like how awesome it really was. And then we were excited for like sequels. They burnt it out like everything else. They gave us the Dead Island Riptide, which was basically a glorified DLC, and they burnt out the franchise quickly. And then they spent 7 years on a sequel that kept getting scrapped and kept getting different teams fired and new teams working on it. So everybody just thought Dead Island 2 was going to be bad. And then now that the game plays out and some people have played it, they say, yeah, I mean, it's not breaking any new ground, but we would have never expected it to run so well considering what we've heard about the game for 8 years.
That's the thing that's crazy is like now it is coming out, and what took so long? Because it's basically going to be the same game with a new like dismemberment engine. Like what took so long? So
they apparently fired 3 different development teams, or maybe not fired, but like they lost the rights. Like people kept like going out of business and getting merged and like all this stuff. It kept changing hands.
Okay.
And so it's been like been 3 different developers, and the final development team came in and I guess put their foot down and were like, we're going to concentrate on this flesh system or whatever. But as far as, you know, as far as like, yeah, why it's taking so long to do something that doesn't seem too different, that's probably the reason.
Well, yeah, I mean, also we can reserve judgment until the game comes out. I mean, I'm not going to get it unless you want to play multiplayer. Like if it was me, you, and
Well, obviously
Lou.
I'm going to want to play multiplayer, but yeah, don't get it because you're not going to be excited for it.
Well, I mean, I would be excited to play multiplayer with you guys. I had fun when we played before. I just didn't play as much. Like you guys just kept going and going, and I was like, I've seen
everything.
I've had my fills. So, but to play like to the end of the main game, yeah, I'm down. We had fun. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of people play it only once.
Wow. Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's not like it's got to be something special for me to stay in it forever. Like Fortnite. We're doing the same thing, but every game is different. Like every game is a new encounter. Every game is like there's enough.
I understand.
When we go into a dead island or whatever,
it makes sense, dude. It makes sense. Come on, I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima and Wind Waker again. Like come on. I'm the one with the issue.
No,
You're
I just
fine.
want to make it clear. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, and I would like to play this with you if we get a group of people who want to play. So,
well, I guarantee you I'm going to want to play, but yeah, it's no big deal. You should probably wait anyway till it comes out cuz I have a feeling it's too good to be true. It'll probably be disappointing, but
we'll find out.
You never know.
I hope not.
What have you been playing this week?
Thanks for asking. So I have been playing, I played all the way through Tron Identity. Look forward to my review this week and my discussion on the podcast next week. I played more Bayonetta Origins, really taking my time with that, loving it even more every time I play it. Just the puzzles are great, the graphics are great. I love the music. The gameplay is so much fun. It's got such a cool visual style to it. I love the storybook approach. I've said it all before. I don't got a bad thing to say about this game other than that beginning, which is slow paced. But like I said, you get past those opening 40 minutes. What a gem of a game. Really enjoying that.
Game of the year.
And then I play Fortnite, of course, and always have fun in Fortnite. Never get tired of it. Very excited because this week the Attack on Titan content is coming to Fortnite, and I would imagine that outside of the skins, they'll probably also add the omnidirectional mobility gear from Attack on Titan MomBrain, which you know about. The thing that they wear on their waist that shoots out the two strings that zips them around the town to slice Titans in the neck. I mean, they've done a Spider-Man thing. I don't know why they couldn't do that for Fortnite, so I'm suspecting they will. So I look forward to that. Oh my God, with the samurai sword. I just thought of this now. It makes perfect sense, like in the anime. In the anime Attack on Titan, they have this belt that they wear that shoots out two strings and connects to buildings, and they zip across the town with it to fly up in the air and attack Titans. And they fight Titans with swords. They have to slice them in a specific spot on the neck. And in Fortnite, they're getting Attack on Titan stuff, and we already have a samurai sword.
Oh, baby.
It could be perfect. Perfect. Then the only other thing I played that I can talk about is Atelier Ryza. As I said last week, I picked up Atelier Ryza, and I was just in the first hour, and I said I was just about to learn alchemy, which is the whole point of the game. Well, now I've put in 7 hours with the game, and I am sad to say I am done. I will not be going back. I have reached my point in time where I have figured out that the game is not for me, and that's after I played a ton, and I also went online to read things.
The game is fun. It's not fun.
I went on to read things to make sure before I made my decision. So I love the land. I love exploring the land. I love the characters. I love the music. The combat is fine. It's turn-based RPG combat, but that's not really the focus. The focus of the game is the alchemy. And the focus is literally just collecting ingredients to make things, because that's what alchemy is. You take ingredients and you turn it into something that you shouldn't be able to.
Lots of crafting.
Yes, and it's like trees of tiers of elements, of ingredients, of rarities, of like, and it's just like branching paths of making things. And that is just not a mechanic I enjoy. And that is the main point of the game is to get the ingredients and make these things, and it just
it sounds like Vitamin G would probably hate this game.
it's funny. That's what I thought of while I was playing it. And I just that is not. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's wrong. It's just that is a gameplay mechanic I do not appreciate, and I'm talking about in games where that's like a side thing that you do. You know, like in Skyrim when it's like craft this or craft that. I'm like, not for me, just because I don't like it. So a whole game where that is the main mechanic is frustrating because I like everything else in the game, but I cannot continue on with everything else if I don't craft all this stuff. And I'm like 7 layers deep in an alchemy pot of like finding the ingredients to make an ingot that needs to be a certain thing. And I'm like, it's just not fun for me. It's just not fun. And it's so disappointing because, as I said, I really appreciate everything else about it, but it's a slog and I find it monotonous and not engaging. And I know like that is a mechanic that some people really love. They love that collect the ingredients and make the best version of a thing you can make and all those branching paths and options. I get it. It's really not for me. I would need the rest of the game to be just as meaty, or I'd need the focus to be somewhere else for me to play that portion and be like, okay, I can slog through this stuff because I get the other stuff, but this is the central thing in the game. So sadly for me, just not enjoying it. But like I said, all the other aspects of the game I really like. That's why it's so disappointing for me to step away. I finished and I was like, I don't think I'm going to be going back to this. And I read a ton online because I was like, let me make a very informed decision from people who love this game. And can talk more about what the mechanics are and everything. And it was, a resounding. The overall opinion was that's the game. You're playing the game for that stuff, and then the other stuff is just kind of in there. So I was like, well, I definitely gave it the college try. And after 7 hours, and many of those hours was in an alchemy pot, just trying to make stuff. I was like,
I'm proud of you.
I just don't. It's hi Darmani, good to see you.
This is huge. This is a huge evolution for you to not finish a game or a movie or a TV show. Like, this is amazing. I'm so proud of you. I think you made the right decision. You're gonna have some sort of excuse as to why it's different. But before you say that, I want to say I'm very proud of you. Welcome to my side, where you can feel free to not play something or not finish something that you're not enjoying. It's normal and it's good.
I will say it's normal.
Yeah.
Certainly, I will say
I
it's
thought
not
about that
good.
too.
But here's the thing. Now I won't talk about the game, and I am disappointed because I would love to talk about the game, but now I don't have any right to talk about the game, so I can't talk about. Like, I've talked about what I've experienced, and that's it, and that's very disappointing. So now when this stuff comes up, I'll just be like, my touchstone with it is very minimal, and that's it. It's like a waste. It's like a nothing. It's like embarrassing. But
you Googled it and you talked to and you
yeah,
read
I know,
everyone's
but that's
account.
for me. That's
so
for
like
me.
that.
No, that's
counts.
that's to inform. It doesn't count. That's to inform my place of this is why I really dislike the game and I'm not having fun. Does this change as it goes forward? And it doesn't. So
you know what?
No, I know what I played. And
Okay.
I'm not.
Well, I'm still happy for you anyway. You can't wash that away.
Yes. Thank you for being happy for me. I am very unhappy about the whole thing, but that's just the mechanic I don't appreciate.
Next, you can do that show Peripheral. Just stop watching that.
No, see, shows all shows and games are different. Like all of them are different, but with a game, like there's not a point where that mechanic is like, I know I don't like that mechanic. It's different from RPGs. RPGs scared me and I didn't understand them. I broke through that wall. It took literally decades, but I'm like, I was an idiot. I was wrong. Now for this is, I know a mechanic I don't like. It just doesn't do anything for me. I don't find it to be fun. I think it's really well made, but it's just not a mechanic I enjoy. And I said, if the game had other stuff in it that I got to pay attention to as much, then I'd still play. but I literally can't continue if I don't continue the alchemy. Like the alchemy is always there and will always be a part of it. So I can't continue on with the RPG stuff because I have to craft other things to continue on and learn more about the crafting. And I looked into like, does the crafting get easier or does it get more difficult? How layered is it? And like everyone was like, I didn't read anybody who said, if you don't like the crafting, you should stick with it. It was all, if you don't like the crafting, you should get out now. Like it's not, don't, because that's not going to change. That's the whole point of the franchise.
So you never knew going into this that it was going to be so craft heavy?
I knew crafting was a mechanic, but I knew it had RPG mechanics as well. And I was into it for the characters and the story too. And I heard this was the most welcoming for a newcomer. So I was like, this is a time to go in. And people really enjoy these games. So I didn't realize how much of it, like the crafting, that's the core of the game. Like that is the mechanic. That's it. So you can't build anything else because it all centers around that. So without that one piece, the rest of the game is impossible. So I don't mind the collecting of ingredients. That's fine. But the going into the pot and like quality of ingredients makes a better thing, which makes sense. But like, you know, alchemy is also make believe and pretend. So like there's things branch off into different avenues that don't make any sense because they don't make sense in the real world, and they don't have to make sense. It's just like I'm so many layers deep into it that I'm like, it's just, it feels like this is what it feels like to me. It feels like being in school for me. It gives me the feeling.
Oh no!
It gives the feeling I got when I was in school, where I was like, I'm not confused. I get what's going on. I just really don't want to be here. Like this is fine. It's just I don't want to be here. So, yes. So I will not be sharing any opinions on that franchise going forward, unless I play another installment somewhere down the line.
He won't share any opinions, but we can take a strong guess and say that he didn't like it because he stopped playing it. But it's a guess. It's only a guess.
Well, that's the thing. See, this is why I don't like this conversation, because you ignore that I liked the RPG. I liked the story. I liked the characters. I liked the music. I liked the graphics. I liked so much more than I disliked. But that one thing I disliked is the core mechanic.
It's funny because you like so much more about this than anything in the peripheral. You don't like anything in that show, the peripheral, and yet you're joking that down.
Because my rule is watch the first season.
It's a
look. I put
it's a torturous rule sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. I put 7 hours into like I was far beyond the alchemy as a core mechanic. I went with it like I was going, and there were parts that I liked, but those parts cannot happen without that other stuff. So when the thing that I found, and again, I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it's broken. I don't think it's poorly told. I don't think it's stupid. It's just I'm literally not enjoying that mechanic. So
no fun.
If I were playing it for review, I would 1,000,000% see it all the way through without a doubt. I am not playing it for review. I bought it because it was hello Lisep. I was playing it because it was on sale and it was a series that I saw people were really into, and I was like, I'll give it a shot. So that's what I did. So I don't regret the purchase at all, in no way, shape, or form.
And with peace and love, it's not your cup of tea.
With peace and love, it is not my cup of tea. Yeah, that is 100% true.
What's this game called again?
This is Atelier Ryza, the original one.
So you're saying Atelier is Atilne?
Oh,
I think you're saying it. I gotta say this. I gotta say this. I find it very sad that my discussion of how I don't like something is bringing such joy to people at the table. Am I wrong?
I mean, maybe be a little more specific, because I don't find it.
Yeah, exactly.
Joyful.
Just say
I
it's
only
the
care
guys
'cause I
at the
got to make
table.
that
The guys
joke.
at the table. It makes me very sad.
Oh,
I'm very sad about this situation.
I think Deux getting the most entertainment out of this.
I'm loving this. I mean, for once.
Well, let me make this
you're
very
being-
clear. This is not. I mean, this is not a new thing for me. This is how I've always been.
I knew you would say that.
Do not take this as an approach to future games. I feel like I put in as much as I can and as much research as I could.
I'm happy that you're doing you. I'm not happy that you're upset at something.
Okay.
I'm happy that you're doing you. You finishing a show that you don't like and choking it down is not you doing you. That's
No,
you.
That's no. You always
That's
say
you
that.
doing
That's
the
me.
show.
No, that's me doing me because it is so important to me to give that first season a go. That when I don't finish that first season, I feel wrong. I feel bad, and I feel
wrong.
disappointed in myself. When I finish that first season, I have a full picture of what the show's trying to do, and then I can talk about it. And I always say this, and I've said it multiple times recently. Even if I hate a show or a movie, I am happy to have had the experience because it means more to me to have the experience than to personally like or dislike. The liking or disliking is the icing on the cake. The being able to talk about something is what I value most. I've had the experience, and that's what I feel life is about, getting the experiences, good, bad, in between. It's all about taking these things in and seeing what they got. That's the zest of life for me. So the liking and the disliking is just what happens. So there you go. That's I've explained where I'm coming at from TV shows and games and movies. But
He has spoken.
again, it's also different from Gears of War because Gears of War I went back to literally 5 times before I liked it. But there's nothing in Gears of War that individually I didn't like. The game just wasn't doing it for me. And then I found out I was approaching the game wrong. I should have played it in this style because, as you know, I'm someone in games who's like reserve all ammo to the last minute, never use the big weapon and probably ever.
Yeah.
And in Gears of War is built to be use every bullet and every weapon all the time. And when I started doing that, I was like, oh, the game's fun now. So it was a me thing. So that's why I keep going back. But yeah, Atelier is a different circumstance. Now here's the other thing. Down the road with some other game, maybe there will be a crafting thing in one of these games that unlocks a whole new way of thinking. And then I'll be like, I should go back to Atelier. Will it happen? I don't know. Probably not. But if it does, then Atelier I will return. But everything else in Atelier I really liked. So very sad, but I'm just it's just not doing it for me.
What a shame. What a shame. What a shame.
But
Thank you.
that's it for me this week. Can't say that. Again, next week I will be talking about Tron Identity, and that's all I can say. We got questions. What do you got? Your questions. What do I got? Answers.
I mean, maybe we have answers. You never know.
Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Oh, where?
Goninpod@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo, video games in general, or whatever the hell you want. NicoDarunia, you have to decide. You have to decide. One of these can no longer exist. It's easy for me. I think it's gonna be easy for MomBrain. I think it'll be easy for you. You, I don't know.
Well, let's find out.
One of these can no longer exist. Don't ask questions about why. They can exist. Ice cream or pizza?
Pizza.
I knew that answer. Yes.
Man.
Because there's so many other things that are like pizza. Yeah, I can sell mozzarella sticks. Like, you know.
You're absolutely right.
So wait,
It's
would
just
the
not a-
pizzone also be gone?
No, that's not a pizza. A calzone's not a pizza.
It's not a pizza.
Is
I
it a
gotta agree.
sandwich?
It's not a pizza. Don't start that. No, we're not talking sandwiches. Everything's fine.
Yeah, it's the answer is ice cream. Oh, sorry. To disappear, the answer is pizza.
I thought you would also go pizza. Yes.
Mhm.
You, I don't know. I'm ice cream. Hence, I have a brand new appreciation for ice cream. I really, really like ice cream now. All kinds. Since I've gotten on the diet now, I'm just like, I'll eat any ice cream. But yeah, pizza's winning for me. I want pizza. Forget it. No, get that
Okay.
ice cream out of there.
Yeah, it's a tough call for me. I might, side with the ice cream people.
So you're keeping ice cream and you're killing pizza.
I mean,
Sure, why not?
as long as I guess as long as like calzones and things like that can still exist.
Yeah, I mean
It's-
you can
It's not a total loss.
cheese and sauce and bread on a piece of French bread, like you could do all kinds of things that are similar. And
No, Joe Shabadoo, don't go into that. Don't do that stuff. It doesn't say that. It just says one of these no longer exists. Ice cream or pizza. So we're not talking about pizza dough. We're not-
Pepperoni roll.
Don't do any of that.
If,
We're just pizza. That's it.
Flatbreads.
Yeah, there's tons of perfect example. So tons of things you can have. You need that ice cream. You're gonna want that ice cream.
I think.
What are you gonna roll up in a fruit roll up? Nothing.
You're right. You're right. Exactly. Now you're thinking.
Now we
still
have to
haven't
put
tried
pizza
that.
in a fruit roll up and roll it up
Oh
and see what
my
happens.
God. Now, oh man, the possibilities. So there you go. One get rid of pizza, or one get rid of ice cream. Everybody else get rid of pizza. I'm on the other side of the fence as usual, but I think your arguments are all valid and obviously personal as well. There's your answers. Pizza ice cream versus ice cream pizza, says Super Bladsticks. Maybe NicoDarunia will give us more specific rules next time, and we'll get to a
What
deeper discussion.
rolls?
We also have a Patreon question, MomBrain. Did you know that you could join the Patreon?
For $1.
For $1. Alex has the Patreon question. I've always thought the GameCube was massively underrated and deserved to sell millions more than it did. What do you think Nintendo could have done differently so that it was a much bigger success? Well, if I
Not make it purple.
Not make it purple. I will not high five on
No,
that
because we thought of it at the same time.
does this high five mean anything else to you?
No.
You're fine with the purple.
Answer my question. Does this high five mean anything else to you?
Then just you and I agreeing that purple is the reason why it didn't sell well?
One of them.
Then yes.
Okay. Then a high five it is. Yeah, now I know after years of this podcast that apparently it being purple is one of the reasons that it didn't sell. So how to make it sell more? Make it not purple. I don't know.
love
Give
that,
it camo and
Get rid of the handle.
Yeah.
guys with muscles on it. I don't know what
I
other
love
stupid
that
crap
handle.
you want.
I loved that you press the little thing in the middle and the disc pops out. I loved the silver colored one.
Platinum, thank you.
Oh yeah, there you go.
MomBrain had a platinum.
And you don't like the
yeah,
Wave
Bling
Bird,
Cube.
but I loved that.
I don't
Wave
like
Bird.
any wireless controller. I want wired over everything, but we live in wireless now. So what am I gonna do? I play with my Pro controller plugged in all the time. My Switch Pro.
Does it play faster or something, or does it?
No,
what's
that way
the
I don't have to
problem?
worry about the battery.
Oh, is that why you're?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wired is always more responsive. That kind of wired doesn't make a difference though. Like that's just a charging wired. But yeah, so a wired controller will always be more responsive than a wireless. It's impossible for a wireless to get as close as a wired would, but it's negligible, not noticeable really, unless you're speed running and counting frames, or maybe some fighting games it matters to you. A lot of fighting game players play wired and they mock people who play wireless, but for the average gamer, sure, doesn't matter. I wouldn't knock anybody for it. Yeah, so what else could they do with the GameCube to make it sell more? I don't know, man, because it had the third-party support for a while that the other systems did. Like everybody was putting out everything.
I think it's just because at the time,
purple.
Well, that I think was something to do with it, and that didn't do much for its kiddie reputation, Nintendo's kiddie reputation, which they still aren't trying to shake, which is fine. It's worked for them, but like at the time, what was it like PlayStation and Xbox? Like the things you could play graphically on there as a graphics whore back then. I mean, blew GameCube out of the water. But like,
what are you talking about? They're all the same.
Well,
some would argue the GameCube was the best of the three.
Well, then I can't tell you why it didn't sell well. I guess the purple.
Yeah, visually speaking, they were all extremely similar.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember a lot of hate on the GameCube back then. I had one in college, and I was like the outcast. Me and one of my roommates had one too, and we were like the outcasts because we didn't have the PlayStation 2 or whatever. So
yeah, I mean, like visually, just in terms of graphics, the GameCube and the PS2 and the Xbox could all do pretty much the same thing. There was no
okay, so PlayStation was the Nintendo 64's era. So
yes,
so PlayStation 2 looked better than GameCube, and that's probably why.
No. PlayStation and N64, PlayStation 2 and GameCube, exactly the same.
Oh,
well, not obviously. There's differences under the hood, but the graphics are almost exact. Like,
it's just because you couldn't get like GTA and stuff.
There you
there.
go. Yes,
and
they're looking at you playing like Mario and Wind Waker, and they're like, look at the colors.
That's actually what it is. Probably.
Yeah.
Then it's probably the more kiddie like games, and they didn't mature a lot of their
colorful
games.
games mean bad. Yeah, because multiple companies put out the same games on all those systems, like Tony Hawk's and there were EA Sports titles, and they're all the same. They all visually look the same. So
yeah, maybe it's just the games then, because you couldn't get, like, I remember I couldn't get at the time I wanted to play GTA and stuff like that, and you obviously couldn't get that on a Nintendo system.
It took us to the DS to get a GTA game for Chinatown Wars, and then it took to the Switch to get Grand Theft Auto, like 3 and Vice City and all that. So yeah, that's not a
which is fine. Like, at the time, it mattered more to me.
I mean, it was a big deal at the time.
Yeah.
Definitely, that was a big differentiator to have a PS2 because you had those games, and that was like the epitome of that era. Like, those are the games people were talking about, all GTA and stuff like that. So Metal Gear, even though GameCube had Twin Snakes, but that was the remake of the PS1 game. So
yeah, I don't know. I really liked the GameCube too. I'm kind of bummed that I got rid of mine. I mean, I have a Wii still, and that's why I got rid of the GameCube, because I can still play my GameCube games. But yeah, that thing is like really cool. I liked it a lot. It had a lot of charm, and the controller was great. The controller is so good feeling. I love
that controller a lot.
Holding that controller.
We still got. I don't have my original purple GameCube. We got MomBrain's platinum GameCube downstairs, but I had my purple launch GameCube, where I read a thing in a magazine about taking out the GameCube.
Oh yeah,
not the disc, but like what do you call it? The logo disc, like the thing that said GameCube on the top. Like you could pop that out, and I showed like a tutorial of how you could stick like any image you wanted in there. So I took like a shine from Mario Sunshine and put it next to the GameCube logo, and I was like, "This is the coolest thing ever."
It was like serious surgery too.
Yeah, with like
cool
stickers and knives and Sharpie markers, and yeah, it was like I thought that I was like, "This is the coolest GameCube there is."
I modded my cube.
Man. Did you have to like set it back when you got rid of it? You just give it with the
GameStop didn't care. They didn't care. They probably didn't even look to tell you.
They gave you your $2 and
you got a controller, you got a power cord. All right, that's it.
Man, well,
yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
color and Grand Theft Auto. That's your two reasons. Put Grand Theft Auto on the system and make it black only.
I don't want to have a huge thing about this. I really don't. But like,
here we go.
What were they thinking with that purple color as the main color? Like, make it a different, like, have the black one or the platinum
purple
one, and make
the
purple
main.
just.
They had black.
Yeah, but purple was like what they're advertising. Like all their advertisements had the purple one. The purple one was the one, and then it was also available.
I remember the purple
in
one in the Luigi's Mansion commercial. I want to say I remember black in the Wave Race commercial, but I could be wrong.
You would know better than me, but
I could be wrong.
I seem to remember purple being like the advertising, the marketing color, and I was just thankful when I showed up and they still had black ones.
I've talked about it before. I can feel the disgust in my body still when I went to GameStop.
The purple one, I just wouldn't have been happy about.
When I went to GameStop and they were like, "Oh, we're so sorry, we only have purple." I wanted to jump across the desk and strangle the man. I'd be like,
like doing his job.
You've never worked retail. Like, you know how many people got pissed at him that day? That's why he had to say that. It's not his
people
fault.
Screaming at him all day.
Hey! I said I wanted to. I was nothing but pleasant to the person.
I didn't show assault an innocent man.
I didn't show any disgust. I wasn't mean in any way. I said inside, I just wanted to kill the man.
But it's not his fault for warning the customers. How does he know that you're the only pure-hearted video gamer that's coming to get a GameCube?
I know it's not his fault. I just want to kill him.
I think you should take back the fact that you wanted to kill him.
No. You're missing. It's like you guys aren't listening. I said that's how I felt. Do you want me to lie and say that's not how I felt? We're
asking you to change how you felt now that you know that it's not that guy's fault. I mean, don't change.
Change in the past, yes. If I could go back in time, I would change my thoughts.
Change how you feel about it now.
You're listening.
You're still mad at the guy.
I'm not. What is going on? No one's listening to me. Ready? When the GameCube came out at that time, that's how I felt about that man. I never said that's how I feel
about
now.
that man today?
I don't feel anything bad about the man at all.
All right.
No, it's like no one's listening. Back then,
No, we are listening. I don't think you understand what we're saying.
you're
Like-
saying
Like,
that.
do you understand that the way that you felt at the time was wrong?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I never said I didn't think that. Never ever. I said I can still feel how I felt back then. I didn't say I was right for feeling it.
Okay.
I didn't say that I
think
feel
we
that
made
way
a
now.
breakthrough. All right.
Joe Shabadoo
There's
says,
no breakthrough. You guys were
No,
misunderstanding what I was saying.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I was very angry at the man back then and never did anything about it. Now I know that anger was misplaced.
yeah, because I'm just thinking, I can imagine how many mean people were like, because he was like, oh, we've only got the purple one, and people were like, what, and getting mad at him, so he probably had to like just preemptively be like, I'm so sorry, we've only
Yeah.
got the purple one, because people were probably being real mean about
And
it.
again, just to stress, I was nothing but pleasant with the man.
Of course you were, and yeah, we wouldn't think
Then I
anything
went home to my
else.
voodoo doll and I stuck pins in him.
Well, I was gonna say, Joe Shabadoo writes, if that man is dead now, it's RMC's fault.
You know what? We all make mistakes. I own up to it. If he's dead, it's my fault, probably.
All right, okay.
I mean, if he just saved a black GameCube for me, then he wouldn't even had to ask the question. So kind of his own fault. Just saying. No, that topic still enrages me. I don't feel the anger for the man, obviously, but that topic of like purple still makes me angry beyond belief. But I understand. I also understand I'm in a minority with that as well. So will I ever understand that? No. Will I ever give anybody crap for it? No, I won't. I've come to peace with it in my mind as far as people just wanting the choice. Now, what it means to people, I will never understand that, ever. But I don't have to, so that's okay. I've also made peace with that. I do not have, and that's just in terms of like a game system I'm talking about, because I'm like, the way I look at it is I want to play games. I don't care what the color is. If I think of that with everything, but like people with cars and colors of cars and all that, like, I personally, I don't understand it, but I get it more with people in cars just because you're out and about and showing it off and whatever.
And it's like a mega investment. Like you're spending a lot of money.
I know, but that
So you
also
want
makes
it
me
to be
more
just the
angry
way you
because
want
people
it.
are like paying extra for a color. Like, who the hell decided green's more expensive than yellow? This is dumb. I
Are
can't
you
even talk about
still
it. I can't even
pissed
talk about it.
off
Yes, I
that
am.
We
Yes.
paid extra so that I could have the color.
No, I'm not.
car I
I'm not
wanted?
pissed off about the fact that we paid extra. I'm pissed off about the fact that you
had to pay
extra for
just for
colors.
black? I mean,
Yeah.
it's black.
Yeah, white is standard.
Yeah.
Man, okay,
Yeah.
that's
Might
kind
just
of
be
crappy.
a supply and demand thing.
I'm glad you got the black one. That was
Oh,
worth
well,
it.
that's the other thing. That's the
Yeah.
other thing.
Worth it.
I was never like, no, we're not doing this.
No.
It's the color you wanted.
mean,
It's fine. It's not.
You
It's
could
a.
have tried to say no. We're
It's
not
a
doing
no,
this, but it wouldn't have.
and that I think shows my point most of all. I never would, because that's a me thing. I really don't care about the color. It doesn't matter to me. The color does matter to you.
Big
so
time.
go
Big
right
time.
ahead. Yeah.
I'm picky about.
I just think you should be on the same side with me of being. Why do I have to pay extra for a color? It's a color.
No, I agree. I agree.
Then
Unless,
we're-
of course,
then
it's
we're
like
good.
something that's
Then we're
really.
golden. As long as it's not more expensive. Am I right, guys?
Well, I think like if
hell's
it's
going on in
something
this
really
world?
custom,
Thank you.
right? Like that, like my dad's El Camino. There's no other car in the whole world that is that color. It was mixed specifically
if
for
it's a-
him, like
yeah,
something
if
like
it's-
that.
If it's a custom thing, but we're
Yeah.
talking about like the dealership. You
But it-
can't just have black and white at least.
But is it really custom? It's not. Some guys open up a can of brown paint back there and be like, "Give it this is Mr. Mom B. He's paying."
It's the color is his. It's the name of the color is his name. Like,
And my point
they
is,
mixed it.
it's like that color exists and plenty of
well,
other
I mean, it's
people
like he
have
got it
that
from
as
like
their-
a dealership. He went to a body like a.
No, I know, and it's fine that he did it. What I'm saying is, thousands of other Joe Schmoes out there also think that that's their color and it's named after them.
I doubt it.
What? You think your dad invented a new color?
Well, Charlie mixes a cut like he mixes colors. Like Bob Ross mixes colors. She'll never get
Yes.
exactly that again.
We'll have to agree to disagree on that. But
That's why there's so many different crayons.
if he, what, yeah, there's like what, 90 crayons, 100
And it
crayons.
seems like they keep coming up with new ones.
That's why, because they put them a different name. Somebody's like, this is a brand new color. I've never seen it before. Speaking of colors, who's seen that guy on TikTok that mixes the paints to match the tone of a color exactly? He's amazing.
I might have seen one of those.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
He's like an artist that can perfectly match the color. Like he'll have like a, like a swab with a color on it, and he'll mix together, the whites, the greens, the blues, and everything to the perfect color exactly. And he'll take it and paint it on the swab to show you that it blends in exactly the same.
Wow.
I'm like, this guy's just eyeballing it. I'm like, this is a talent. This is amazing. So really cool channel. I don't remember what it's called, but hopefully it pops up in your algorithm. That's awesome. So there you go. Make it not purple would have been the best-selling system ever in the history of the world.
And get rid of the handle so it doesn't look like a lunchbox.
Get rid of that handle. Nobody
it-
wants to carry it
And
around.
it wasn't even like a cool purple either. It was like kind of like a lighter purple.
Oh, cat's gone. They called it indigo. Indigo.
And then there was
Indigo away
Spice.
for most consumers. Huh?
right. Spice was the
Spice was the orange one. Yes. Yep. All wrong colors apparently. Well, minus black. Black's
Speaking
always
of
fine.
purple, did you know that orange was actually Prince's favorite color? I never knew that until recently.
Orange rain.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't flow that much well.
Yeah, orange rain sounds weird.
Orange is probably my least favorite color.
It's not one of my favorites.
Yeah, I don't like orange or red very much. Red for a car, don't even get me started.
Oh yeah, my
Ooh.
eyes bleed.
Yes, me too.
I mean, I'm exaggerating.
I-
No, I'm just saying like,
that was a joke, man.
well, I'm just saying like when it hurts your eyes, when it's too bright.
Too bright red. Listen, if there's a car color that's making it hard for you to see while you're driving, then I understand the dislike of it because you're having trouble on the road.
No, it's not like a personal preference. I'm just saying like it makes my eyes physically hurt sometimes.
Oh, well, a physical reaction to it. That's
Yeah.
completely different. That's fine. Yeah, that's not a personal preference. It's I'm in pain or I'm in discomfort. Yeah, that's fine. I get that. Maybe that's how people felt with the game. All right, MomBrain, can we get some music, please? Remember,
Music.
you have the new aux cord this
Music.
time.
Thank goodness.
Send your music to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com. Please put music in the title. Helps out MomBrain. And send as many songs as you want.
Help.
I got music. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh.
Alrighty, Roo. This number one bop comes from our friend Mikey3319. One moment, please. And here we go.
All right. It's got a rare feel now, but it's not exactly rare.
I believe it could be rare.
So it's not grabbed by the ghoulies.
No.
It's rare-esque, certainly, but I'm going to go with, sure, Banjo-Tooie.
No.
Banjo-Kazooie. Not Banjo-Kazooie.
It's not Banjo. Nut.
Is it rare?
Oh, is it a conquer?
It's not Conquer.
Donkey Kong.
It's not Donkey Kong.
Is it a rare? Diddy Kong Racing.
No.
It's not Jet Force Gemini. It's not Perfect Dark. It's not GoldenEye.
Nope. I don't believe it is rare.
Whoa. Biggity Buck Bumble.
No.
N64?
Yeah.
Glover?
No.
Man, that's a good guess.
Oh, thanks.
Platformer
I've never even
style.
played Glover.
It's got a circusy kind of thing to it. That's a really good guess, man.
Thank you.
I don't think I could get better than that guess. How about Arrow the Acrobat or whatever that is?
No.
All right, everybody out.
I guess.
Yeah.
We're out.
Clay Fighter.
Oh darn it!
Damn it! I should have guessed.
Was
that.
it last week when you guessed Clay Fighter for something?
He often guesses
recently.
Clay
I should have.
Fighter.
I never played the one on the N64. I should have guessed that. Damn it! It all fits. It's stupid, goofy music. It's the right kind of sounds. Oh, it all fits. It all fits.
This one comes from Jess I.
What game do you make babies in?
I was gonna say this is pretty sensual.
That noise always makes me think Legend of Zelda because it's a Goron noise, but this isn't Zelda.
It's not, but it is first party.
What system?
'64
Really?
DD.
Oh boy, what? Doshin the
Mega
Giant?
Doo-doo.
The puppet game? Oh, my DD knowledge, DD Mega Doo-Doo is very limited. It's not like there's a lot of stuff for it. Oh, what else is on the 64 DD? Go ahead. It's not going to come to me.
I'm digging it though.
Man, that 64 Mario or something. Mario stage designer, or did that even come out? Mario puppet. Mario. I don't remember what Mario thing came out on that.
Hi.
Hi,
Who's that?
that's Mario.
Hi, I'm Daisy.
Give up.
Yeah.
It was Mario Artist.
I was dancing around it. Damn it!
Dancing
Were.
around.
Can I have 0.5 for that?
Maybe. This one comes from NicoDarunia.
Fall Guys.
Yeah.
Fall Guys has a very specific sound.
Nice job.
You gotta win.
For Finn. Okay. Another little ditty comes to us from Guy Bones.
Man, this is similar to something I think I've heard, but I don't think I've heard it.
A little sour.
See, that noise, that harmony could be so many companies. It could be early Capcom. Oh, it really could be early Capcom.
Konami.
Oh. Konami. Can I hear it again?
Sure.
It's all right. Licensed. It sounds
Yeah.
like a licensed game. Yeah. Konami licensed. Sounds more kiddie. Sounds whimsical. Oh no. Are still around?
It's not like Top Gun, is it?
No, they're not. There's not like new.
Gremlins.
Still easily recognizable though.
Gremlins.
No.
My Little Pony.
No.
They still got new stuff.
Man, I got no idea.
I mean, I don't think this song would give away.
We let it run, so go ahead. Adam's Family.
Monster
no.
in my pocket.
No.
I kept
Goonies.
thinking
Yes.
that.
Oh yeah.
Goonies?
Yes. Did
Nice job.
that just come across your desk?
I just came out of my mouth. I opened my mouth and out it came. You're a very lucky man.
I'd
Thank
say.
you. Thank you.
I'd
Thank
say that answer was good enough.
Oh,
Oh nice.
Nice. Well done.
nice.
My
We
mom's
saved
favorite
the
part.
Goondocks.
That's my most favorite part. I love that you love that
It's a great line.
It
My
is.
mom's favorite piece.
Oh, is it peace? So great that I can't remember it.
This one comes from Storbus Corbin.
Hare Krishna.
Is this licensed too?
No.
Okay.
Mile Secret Castle.
No.
Since I don't think it's from this, but since we said it earlier, Xanadu.
Nope.
Is it like Rygar or something?
Nope.
Final Fantasy. Dragon.
Yes,
There
Final
we go.
Fantasy.
Okay, I got
On
that.
the
I got
NES.
that.
Wow, look at you.
Well done.
My favorite game as a child on the NES, Final Fantasy. Played it all the time.
I don't believe you.
We got time for more?
We'll do one more, sure.
Okay. This.
By the way, I got all your angry comments and emails about the podcast not being 3 hours recently. Loud and clear. I got you. You're getting what you want today.
I kind of like that. But
Well, good news. This one's not 3 hours yet.
Hold on, just a
Not
moment.
yet.
so you're going to make it longer.
I'm gonna do my best to make it
It's
that
7
long.
minutes.
This one comes from. Who does it come from? This one comes from Stephanie. And now I
Brave
lost it again.
Stephanie?
Stephanie.
Well, we're going to hit that 3 hour mark now.
This is Earthbound, baby.
Yeah.
This is
There we
the
go. This is
ridiculous.
Five.
The Runaway
The
Five.
ridiculous 4. Hell yeah.
Mm.
This is like windows down in the car.
Yeah. This is like-
Ooh.
On a bus through a tunnel with zombies in it. Boo-dee-doo-doo. The best part about this in the game is you have to stay and watch the concert the whole time.
What's wrong with that? And then there's that beauty
Well,
girl.
What's wrong with that? It's
Yeah.
if you do something in the wrong order and then you have to go in again to
You'll
let
have
it
to
play
watch
out.
the concert again. Yeah. That's why they created the traditional save.
Without which I would have never played the game.
Me too.
All right, that's a great one. Thank you.
We are listening to Earthbound music all the way to Easter tomorrow. Got it?
all
Nice.
the way to Easter. What does
That's
that
a
mean?
good Easter soundtrack.
In the
I
car
think,
tomorrow?
for some reason.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the EA in the name.
Okay. EA Stir. It's in the bunny. That's it. Dude, you got anything for us?
Dues Views. It's never news. Rumor of the Week, starring Dew Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen, every week Dew is privy to the rumors that no one else is, and he brings them directly to your ears. And today's no different, except for the fact that it's not a rumor, it's actually true. Something very exciting has just come across my desk, and here it is. So you may have read that Charlie Day said some things about people being upset and living in their parents' basement about the movie Super Mario Brothers. Well, he wants to clear a few things up. He first of all said that he didn't mean basement, he meant attic. So it's not as insulting, he says, according to him. And then he also says, Luigi knows what you're talking about. He was in Bowser's basement for most of the movie. That is, I mean, I saw the movie. I don't know what he's talking about, but
I think it's sexual.
oh, okay.
So it's a sex dungeon.
I'll have to
Yes.
reach out to Mr. Day to get more on this, but yeah. So that was the rumor of the week. Sadly,
Tasty.
All right, everybody. That's what we got for you this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
everybody. Goodbye.
Well, we've had a great show with great discussions. We've all really respected each other's opinions and had wonderful back and forths. Would you care to push it and go one more? Because I have something to talk about.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I've been.
I think we've
fine.
done great. We last night
Real proud of you.
I watched Bodies.
You liked it, didn't you? Oh my
I
god.
really liked it.
Unbelievable.
Now we're starting off sour. You go.
It's
Would
my
you like to go
fault for-
first? Would you like to go first?
Okay.
And I remember I'm taking a new approach too. I'm not gonna.
Are we doing spoilers or no? No spoilers.
Sure. Yeah. Well.
Spoilers. No spoilers.
Okay.
What is the show about?
No, it's a movie.
What is the movie about?
It's a movie.
murder mystery.
It's a murder mystery.
Ooh, I love a good murder mystery.
It's like a horror.
I
murder
also
mystery.
love a good murder mystery.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is turning.
So here's
just saw a
the
trailer
thing.
for it.
It's fine. The movie wasn't made for me. It was made for young people, obviously, because I clearly don't understand why it's good. I thought the acting was really, really bad. There's one person in particular who, I mean, it's like a joke now to diss this person, so I won't even say what it is, but they were horrible in it. I have to say the one thing I did like was the twist at the end when they revealed what started it all. I actually liked that, and I thought that was great. But
can you tell me what actor was? Tell me what they were wearing. Can you tell me
the
anything?
SNL guy? You know, the guy who,
Oh yeah, I also think he's a bad actor.
he was the worst ever in this. I think.
I mean, it wasn't offensively bad, but he's a bad actor.
I mean, it's not. I guess it's one of those like, oh, it's a commentary on like society or whatever, but like whatever. I didn't find anybody to be likable really at all. And I mean, maybe the main character, like if she was indeed the main character, the Eastern European
I would
girl,
see her as the main character.
So
at least the closest thing.
she's likable, but still like there's just I didn't like anybody in it, like as a character, not necessarily, not like the performances, even though I didn't really care for those either. But yeah, it didn't do it for me. It was just like a bunch of people that you don't like, and they're meant to not be likable, and it was just I don't know. What else is there? You know,
I do think if there's someone close to being a likable character or a tolerable character, it's the main character that we both agree on. Like I would say that's as close as you're going to get. I just loved how the whole movie turns the lens back on people in so many ways. Like that's what the whole movie is about, I guess, in my opinion.
Can you give me an example of what you even mean by that?
The whole movie is like showing how people are nowadays and how they handle certain, I'm trying not to do spoilers, how they handle themselves in certain situations, and how about this, how they always think they're the center of attention.
It's about how we live in a society.
Like the whole movie is about how people are obsessed with a certain thing and how people are obsessed with themselves.
Let's talk about this. I don't know what you're talking about, so off the air we'll talk about this because I don't know what you're
Well, I really liked it. I also don't like Pete Davidson. I just don't like him in general as an actor or anything, so he's a whatever. But I found the other characters enjoyable through their idiosyncrasies and their some of their actions. I also thought some parts were particularly funny. One of the character that wears the glow necklace in particular, especially towards the end of the movie, I thought she was really funny because I thought what she was saying was really driving the point of the movie home. I love this. This is real. It's related to the movie, but it's not why I liked it. I like a movie that takes place in one place. I just like that. Why do I like it? Couldn't tell you, but I really like that. I like the setting of the movie being in a storm, and the storm, the storm is what the whole movie's about.
I like the storm.
Yeah, I was interested when I first saw the trailer a long time ago. But I liked it way more than I thought I was going to like it. I was not expecting a movie that would be deep and trying to say something. I didn't think it'd be a movie that was trying to say something, but
we watch different movies.
Man, it was really saying something, and I was really impressed with that. So I really liked it.
You're young at heart. I'm an old man.
Oh,
if you're old, you're not going to understand what the movie is about.
No,
I'm sorry.
It doesn't have anything to do with being young or old.
I think it does because
we're the same age.
Old, and I don't get it.
Well, like you said, we'll talk spoiler terms afterwards. Yeah, Saul Mezzerlink, I haven't seen that movie, but you're right. Phone booth. It all takes place in a phone booth. It could be. Even if I dislike the movie, I would probably like the setting. So yeah, I love that. That's why it's so disappointing for me, because I don't like the movie Clue, but I love that Clue takes place in one place. I really like that aspect of it. So
Clue is way more fun than Bodies.
Clue's
Bodies.
a great movie.
I know I'm on the I'm in the minority when it comes to Clue. Yeah, people really like Clue.
You're in the majority with this Bodies. That's how I know I'm too old for this. Do
you I think, well, we'll have to talk about it more after, but do you think you say you're too old when what you really mean is you just don't like young people when they're the whole point of a movie?
I like young
like
people.
The whole
I love
cast,
Stranger Things.
Yeah, but they're not like the cast of Bodies is very much young people now, and they are the only people in the movie. Stranger Things has Hopper and his love interest,
This
and
one had Lee
Yuri,
Pace in it. Lee Pace is 42, and he gets killed, and
whoa! No spoil. You said spoilers after.
I did say that, and I'm sorry. I do apologize.
But he's the only, and he talks very little. Like he's really a tiny bit of the movie. Like the focus of the movie is
I think what it is I just didn't like it, and I don't care usually for movies that have like a lot of like, and this is the sign of the times, like influencers or the internet things, or like Insta whatever, or like, I mean, I know that's what it is, but I'm not interested in those types of characters. And every time I watch a movie like that, it always stinks. Swarm is the closest I've come to liking something that has like heavy influencer elements in it. So even Swarm, I'm like, I just like.
There's one person in this movie who has a podcast. What influence stuff are you talking about?
Oh, that I don't care. I don't care about the like.
So what influencer stuff are you talking about? Then I'm lost.
I don't want to speak about it anymore on the show, but
we will end it on the show because we don't want to spoil anything. If you want to watch, Anastasia Beaver hasn't. Check it out. You tell us what you think next week. That's it. That's all we got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a great time. I thought we had great conversations. I hope if you go see the Mario movie, you enjoy it, and we'd love to hear your opinions as well. You can leave them over on Patreon, and I'll get back to them next week. But that's what we got for today. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games. Rest, relax. You deserve it. Have fun, damn it. We'll see you next week. Yeah. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. We are